In tomorrow's off-year elections, gubernatorial contests in Virginia and New Jersey, while New York City elects a mayor. In addition to choosing a governor, Virginians will also be electing a lieutenant governor, a state attorney general, and state lawmakers. Pro-family advocates urging values voters not to sit this one out.
The ideological divide is vast on parents' rights, mixing sexes in school locker rooms and sports, assisted suicide, and much more. The Family Foundation's Victoria Cobb says the past reveals the future.
If leftists win in November, 2026 and 2027 will be even worse. They have a track record. We've seen what they will do when they obtain power. Were it not for the governor's veto pen, their insane ideas that they would have had enacted today would be horrifying.
The current governor could not run for re-election. Anne-Marie Morgan reporting.
President Trump says that China has ruled out military action against Taiwan as long as he is in office.
The president told CBS's 60 Minutes that Chinese President Xi Jinping has assured him that Beijing would take no action against Taiwan while Donald Trump's in the White House. U.S. officials have long been concerned about the possibility of China using military force against Taiwan, the self-ruled island democracy that is claimed by Beijing.
White House correspondent Craig Clugston. Kimberly Clark, the company behind brands including Huggies, Kleenex, and Cottonelle, is branching out, buying Tylenol maker Kenvue in a roughly $48.7 billion cash and stock deal, creating a massive consumer health goods company. Day 34 for the government shutdown, and there's no sign of a resolution. Watching Wall Street, Dow futures are down 29 points. NASDAQ futures 171 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The national debt is soaring and the dollar is weakening. Rising deficits and market instability are creating a perfect storm of economic uncertainty. In unpredictable times, more people are turning to physical gold and silver, real tangible assets that have protected wealth for centuries, as a way to safeguard their savings and retirement. And now, with the Fed preparing another rate cut, precious metals are poised for dramatic gains in the coming weeks. At Advantage Gold, we help you move your IRA or eligible 401k into physical precious metals, tax-free and penalty-free. When you call 800-741-GOLD, you'll receive a free gold guide packed with real-world strategies to help protect your investments. Call 800-741-GOLD or visit AdvantageGold.com. Call 800-741-4653. Consult with your financial and tax professionals before making investment decisions. Call 800-741-GOLD.
It's a first for the White House as a Syrian leader will pay a visit.
President Trump will host Ahmad al-Shara for talks, a first-ever visit by a Syrian president to the White House. The meeting is expected to take place November 10th. The president met with al-Shara in Saudi Arabia in May in what was the first encounter between the two nations' leaders in 25 years, and one that could serve as a turning point for Syria as it struggles to emerge from decades of international isolation. Ron Taylor reporting.
Riot police in Belgrade have had to separate opponents and backers of Serbia's President Alexander Vučić as political tensions rise after a year of anti-government demonstrations around the country. Thousands faced off on both sides of police barriers, throwing bottles and flares. Tensions soared after a large rally over the weekend marked the anniversary of a train station disaster, left 16 people dead. News and analysis, townhall.com. War Secretary Hegseth has paid a visit to the tense border separating North and South Korea.
The U.S. Defense Secretary and South Korea's Defense Minister received a briefing from military officials at a site near the military demarcation line that past American presidents, including Donald Trump, had visited to peer across the border into North Korea and meet with American soldiers. They also visited the Panmunjom border village, where an armistice was signed to pause the 1950-53 Korean War. Hegseth did not mention North Korea, which has ignored Washington and Seoul's calls for dialogue in recent years, while accelerating the expansion of its nuclear weapons and missile program. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Warren Buffett's company's profits improved 17% thanks to a relatively mild hurricane season and more paper investment gains. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The abolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes, welcome to it.
Kind of a weird weekend with Halloween on Friday, the time change, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, just, by the way, it is just after 7 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock. And you're of course, you'd be way ahead of the game, I guess.
It's true. You show up super early.
I was working early today. But, yeah, it was, and actually, I didn't really, like, the first half of the morning didn't hit me. It was the later part of the day yesterday. I was like, wow, it's only like noon.
No, I know, and I kept looking at my phone, like, well, I need to do some things, but I was going to do them around 2 o'clock, and when's it going to be 2?
Yeah.
It just drug on.
And of course, my NFL game wasn't until Sunday night. So I'm like, man, it's not even 6. I got another hour?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. Which I waited for nothing. That was, put it this way, whatever dreams I had got crushed.
Just shattered.
I don't know if you saw what happened.
I didn't.
I'll get into other football first. There's high school football. I got some things to talk about there first. But no. Jaden Daniels' arm turned into a noodle last night.
Oh, man.
Good news is it's just dislocated negative, so maybe. But it was his non-throwing arm, and it was disgusting. It was one of those.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Like how they just keep replaying the clip of LT Hansen snapping.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we got smoked is one thing. I mean, that's dumb.
Sure.
But the fact that JD's arm did that. So I more than likely he's probably done for the year, but I don't know. Maybe if it's a negative dislocation, maybe he's coming back. But at this point, do you really want to put him out there?
Okay, so here's the plan. We start now.
Yeah.
Just tanking the rest of the season.
They don't
trying to get that first round draft pick.
They don't have to try. They're already doing it.
There you go. so we don't even have to change the game plan all that much.
Well, in all fairness, everybody's hurt. We have no wide receivers. The one guy we have out there is kind of hurt, and then the one guy that was doing things got hurt last night. So and we'd have nobody.
Right.
Our defense is decimated, and they're getting burnt. The ones that are out there are old. It's just
I completely
a nightmare situation.
I understand. It's one of those situations where it's like, as you've watched, like a team that you like or a person that you followed just get older and just everything stops working as well. It's a sad degradation. I watched somebody come back from injury, was out for like 8 months, came back, did one maneuver, out again with injury.
It happens.
It
happens. I see it in the NFL all the time, and other sports do, but you do see it in the NFL. So it was no joy in Mudville for me last night. I was not happy, but we got the playoff bracket is now been set for high school playoffs here. As far as 5A goes, the Artesia Bulldogs are the number 1 seed.
Yes.
Roswell Coyotes are the 2 seed. The 3 seed is Los Alamos. And then the 4 seed is Lovington.
Yes.
Goddard Rockets are a 5 seed. The top 4 seeds are off this week, so Roswell, Artesia will be off.
It would have been basically like flip-flopped if had the results of Friday's game gone the other way, right?
More than likely, yes.
So that's how close we were this season.
It was more than likely yes. I think Lovington got the 4 seed because they beat Goddard earlier in the year, so they're the first. So Goddard is the 5 seed. So Goddard will play this weekend. That game has been determined. They are the 5 seed. They're going to be hosting the number 12 seed Deming Wildcats. That game will take place at the Wool Bowl this Saturday at 1300, 1 p.m. We will have that game for you. Slight change of plan. It'll be on the radio right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Chris Deck and Chris Roybal will be calling the game for you. We'll just move it over here to our talk station since the Coyotes will be off that week. And more than likely, unless they could play each other because they are on opposite sides of the bracket, Goddard and Roswell.
Right.
Goddard has to get through Artesia and everybody else first, as does Roswell.
Yeah.
But those two would not square off until a championship game. So, but for this week, for sure, we will definitely have the Goddard and Deming game right here on 106.5. We have not, as of this morning,
as of right now,
procured the video streaming rights. We have put in our request to do so. We have not heard back yet.
Right.
As soon as that happens, we will let you know. But our plan is, unless we get told no, to carry that video broadcast for you as well.
And worst case scenario, you can absolutely follow along with the audio and the scoreboard at ksvpt.com.
Yeah, we will have it online, but whether it'll be just audio only or video will determine whether they say, yes, we will accept your money to broadcast these games.
But see, I always kind of felt like this is the chance for our sportscasters to kind of step it up a notch. Like if we can't have the video, let's paint a mental picture.
Well, they do it on the radio, so they have to do it.
What we need to do though is we need to have that like NFL Films music underneath it.
Yes.
And that I think that'll get under their skin and really intensify their sports calling.
Yeah. Although in my
I want to know what the weather's like. I want to know how it feels on the field. I want to know what the grass smells like.
See, and this is part of my id. In order to play the NFL Films type music, the weather's got to be bad.
That's fair. Well,
it was a snowy tundra.
The weather has to be bad,
Roswell, New Mexico,
or the odds have to be heavily against you.
Right.
If we're going to play that music, that inspiring, hopeful music.
Well, considering how we're the 5 seed and the 2 seed respectively, we're not going to be the underdogs in many matches.
No, we're not.
Sorry. No NFL Films.
No, not this week.
Unless we get a frozen tundra.
And also the express written consent of the National Football League.
Although I think we're covered. As long as we don't put in commercials.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. As long as we don't put anything in commercials.
We pay a lot of money to do that.
Yes.
But you can't put in your commercial. That's where we all get in trouble. You, me, and everybody else. But yes, and so we will have high school football for you this Saturday. Right here on the radio, possibly video as well. As soon as we know for sure, we will definitely let you know. Now, to continue on here, like I said, Artesia being the 1 seed, they're going to take on either Goddard. No, I'm sorry. They are going to take on they're going to take on Lovington if they win. If Goddard beats Deming Saturday, they will take on Lovington. Artesia next week will take on either Highland or Mayfield. They're the 8th and 9th seed respectively. They will be hosting that game.
Okay.
The Roswell Coyotes is a 2 seed. They're either going to play the 7th seed Berlin or the 10th seed Valley. They'll host that game next weekend.
Gotcha.
So, and then we go from there. Now, so basically for Artesia and Goddard to square off, Goddard's going to beat Lovington, and then Artesia will have to beat either Highland or Mayfield. And then obviously Goddard has to win this one. So.
But you're saying there's a chance.
That's the road.
There you go.
So basically, Goddard's going to, if things go the way they go, Goddard will have to win Deming, beat Lovington, beat Artesia, and then beat, more likely, Roswell if they go. I mean, if things go by the numbers.
Right.
That's why they play the games, and somebody could blow all that up.
Any given Saturday, man.
Yep. So, it will be some pretty tall matchups for all the teams. But Goddard's going to see the best of the best to get to that championship because they literally just the way the bracket lines up. Now, unless there's an upset along the way. But, yes, which happens.
Yep.
It happens. So, although football, of all the high school sports, I feel like football's the most or the least upset seeing. Like in baseball and basketball and even softball, even soccer, you'll see like a 112 where a 12 gets it. Every once in a while you'll see that. Football, not as often.
I think you're less likely to see the upset as you are likely to see the come from behind victory.
Yeah.
And that's just in individual games themselves.
But I think part of it, too, is just the fact that they play a lot less games in football compared to basketball and baseball.
Right.
And so there's a smaller sample of games. And so I think it creates parity a little bit different. Yeah. Or just, maybe not parity, but it just creates a much more different pecking order than playing a course. Because when you play 20, 30, 40, 50 games, you can have an off night. Whereas football, you don't have that luxury as much.
Right.
So I think that does come into play a bit. So, but anyway, getting philosophical, I'm just trying to tell you we got football this weekend.
And by the way, speaking of, since we're in the sports realm, congratulations to the Dodgers.
Oh yeah, that was a good game.
Back to back. Yeah, that was a great series in general.
I watched Saturday night's game, and man, that was good. Yeah, I haven't watched much baseball, but I did catch a good hunk of Saturday's game, and yeah, man, that was Blue Jays. I was a Blue Jays fan. I'd be crushed, man.
They put up a good fight, but it was.
They got the bats, but Dodgers just. Well, you saw what happened. It was good, man. But
that Shohei Ohtani, he's really something.
It was a good series.
Yeah.
But, that's why they're the two-time champs. Now.
Two-time.
Oh, they're gonna be the Chiefs of the baseball. So, let me give you the rundown for today's show. We do have a full slate for you. Don't forget, tomorrow is Election Day.
Yes.
If you have not heard,
make your voice heard.
From what I was seeing online over the weekend, I think it was from the Chaves County Clerk's office, something like 8% of those eligible to vote have voted so far in the early, which means 92% of us have not, which means we need to get out and vote tomorrow. And even if you live out in the county, you still have, you're not necessarily voting on a city council or a mayor race, but you are voting for school board. You're voting on the mill levy and the various bonds there. So I think you have 3 or 4 different things that you're going to be voting on, even if you're outside the city. So get out and vote tomorrow. That being said, Christina Arnold, city councilor for Ward 1, running for re-election, is going to join us here in just a few minutes to chit-chat. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have Dr. Sean Powell join us with ENMBUR. He'll talk about the mill levy, that another decision you'll be voting on here tomorrow in the election. So we'll chat with Dr. Powell about that and get an update at ENMUR as well. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have joining us in studio will be artist Greg Birch. It's been a minute since Greg's been with us. And on the phone will be author Cindy Sloan Butt. She's been on with us before talking about latest books. Of course, her and Greg have collaborated doing the artwork for many of her books and things. And so we'll get an update on her latest book, latest artwork, and what Greg's up to on his own as well, too. So we'll talk art and writing with in the 9 o'clock hour here. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news as is, sports, all that good stuff, weather, which is pretty nice this week. A little warmer, a lot of sun, no talk of rain. So all that and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. All right, it is, let me get back here, 19 minutes after 7. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today, 80 to 85 on the afternoon high, and with high pressure overhead, we'll be getting sunshine through the day. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll warm up a little bit on Tuesday, low to mid 80s, maybe a little bit warmer than that around the Carlsbad area. And then on Wednesday, we're expecting mid 80s across the entire area, sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, you know what? This is not fresh. Let me freshen that up a bit. It's stale. There we go. That's a little fresher. 43 here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds are not available. Does that mean there is none? Just not available. Today, sunny and a little warmer, 79, pushing 80 today. Winds will be out of the east at 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear, overnight low of 42 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday, we're busted into the 80s like the Kool-Aid Man, sunny and 83. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear, overnight low of 45 degrees. West winds at 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, even warmer, sunny and 85. Winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and 84 as well. And then we take a little chilly dipper into Friday, back down into the mid-70s, sunny and 74. But back up to 80 for a high on Saturday, and then down to 69 on Sunday. So we got like the Scooby-Doo roller coaster of fun for weather here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll be up the hills and down those couple days there. All right, it is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's get you into Roswell Livestock Report, quick break, and then Christina Arnold, City Councilor for Ward 1, will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A big November run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings, also a really good run of young, middle-aged, and older bred cows and pairs. We expect to sell 2,300 head, breaking down like this: 375 to 400 weight cows and bulls, 275, 300 pairs of bred cows, 1,500, 1,600 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 33 cow-calf pairs from the Ken Smith Inc., Hobbs, New Mexico, excellent quality black and red and Charolais crossbred cows with Angus and Charolais calves. 4 to 9 years old, 35 bred cows, 2 and 3 year olds, mostly black and black white face Angus and Charolais crossbred heifers, bred to Angus bulls. 57 bred cows, excellent quality black and black white face red Angus and Charolais crossbred cows bred for spring calves to Angus and Charolais bulls, 4 to 6 years old. 24 bred cows, excellent quality, mostly black and black white face Angus crossbred cows bred to Angus and Charolais bulls, cows 7 to 9 years old. 32 bred cows, Mr. Ellie Hagglestein, Sanderson, Texas, good quality black Angus crossbred cows bred to Angus bulls, 3 to 7 years old, mostly 3s to 5s. 57 calves, Mr. Marion Valencia, Duran, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus calves, shots at Brandon, medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. 92 calves of McDaniel Family Trust, Capitan, New Mexico, fancy quality black Angus calves, shots at Brandon, 450, 600 pounds. 120 calves, the Barrow Cattle Company, Andrews, Texas, good quality black white face, red white face English crossbred calves, cattle weighed 30 days, 2 rounds of shots, thin condition, 250, 375 pounds. 106 calves, Ken Smith Inc., Hobbs, New Mexico, excellent quality black Angus and Charolais crossbred calves, good hair, bone right off the cows, 250, 400 pounds. 95 steer calves, Mr. Monty Oni, Mountain Air, New Mexico, ex-quality black white face, red white face English crossbred calves, shots at Brandon, 450, 650 pounds. 87 steer calves, the McCaslin Ranch at Eunice, excellent quality, 90% black white face Angus and Charolais crossbreds, Bovishield Gold 7-way, 450, 650 pounds. 48 calves, Edgar Larrera, Denver City, Texas, fancy quality black Angus calves, Bovishield 6, 8-way, 400, 550 pounds. 43 calves, Mr. Aaron Kidd at Carlsbad, ex-quality black white face, red white face English crossbreds, Bovishield Gold 7-way, medium condition, 350, 475 pounds. And 72 calves, Justin Goss at Weed, New Mexico, excellent quality, mostly black white face, red white face Angus and English crossbreds, shots at Brandon, 400, 650 pounds. Sale time this morning will be at 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows 11:30. Be selling calves and yearlings about 1:30. We expect to sell 2,300 head today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
When you or a loved one need medical transport, Trans-Aero answers the call. Trans-Aero Medevac operates 3 rotorcraft bases and 1 fixed-wing base in southeastern New Mexico, allowing them to respond quickly to emergencies across diverse terrains. Their fleet extends coverage deep into New Mexico and West Texas, including Artesia, Carlsbad, Roswell, Ruidoso, Midland, Lubbock, and the surrounding areas, ready to answer the call when every second counts. Trans-Aero Medevac, proudly serving southeastern New Mexico and West Texas. Loan for free, thanks to the partnership from the City of Artesia and Trans-Aero Medevac. Life support by air.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, City Councilor representing Ward 1 here for Roswell, Christina Arnold, back with us, running for re-election, of course. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Well, I will be honest. It's like early in the morning, and there was a time change. So I was like, okay, I'm a little off.
But at least you got the good time change, like the extra hour. So
yes. Yesterday was very interesting as far as I didn't even realize there was one.
Right.
I forgot.
You're like, I'm hungry earlier than I normally am.
Why am I awake so early?
Everybody, I'm an hour early everywhere I went to today.
It was 5 in the morning. I'm like,
yeah, I know that feeling. I was the same way. I was like, no, I'm going back to bed. I don't care what the clock says. I'm going back to bed. So, but of course, so I've asked how's been this campaign season so far? Just running. What's obviously you have a term under your belt now as city councilor, so you have the experience there. Just how's it? Is it different this time than last time as far as running for election?
Oh yes.
Okay.
So when I ran 4 years ago, I had a kind of different schedule, and so when you start out and put your name in the hat to run again, I was kind of thinking I'd just follow that same plan, but it's been really difficult, running my work and then making sure I'm staying on top of council, because just because I'm up for election doesn't mean I stop doing my job for the public. So it's been different balancing that and kind of following the same
adding
process.
A third job to you, really. It's like campaign, city council, and day job.
and just figuring out. So yes, it's a lot different, but I really tried to stick to kind of what I do.
Sure.
So as far as the campaign's concerned, my model, getting out there, and so I think I've managed.
Sure.
I know 4 years ago when I ran, I was pretty solid, but just getting out there, getting it done.
Being accessible, I know that's something you've always prided yourself in, and you can always, either a phone call or an email or a Facebook
coffee.
Post or coffee a visit away.
Yeah, because I love to have coffee with people.
So that's always been something. So I gotta ask too, because I'm sure as far as your knowledge of how city is run is light years ahead of where it was 4 years ago. Just as city councilors, I don't care who you are. When you're a city councilor the first time, you learn how to be a city councilor the first. You have your ideas, and you may have, but as far as how the government finances work, how the meetings are, all the minutia of all that, you kind of learn it on the fly a little bit. So for you there, what's like some have been those big lessons learned this first 4 years?
So you and I, prior to me even becoming a city councilor, we spent a lot of time together talking policy.
Sure, absolutely.
Policy's been my passion for years. So I had a good idea of how government worked as far as the process. And I went in, pretty confident. And I think I actually did really good at getting off and moving. But what Councilman Corn always says, you can't tell water where to go. It's going to go where it goes.
Sure.
So probably one of the things that I've learned over the 4 years is timing.
Sure.
timing is everything.
Right.
And
the gambler move: when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run.
Well, and for me, it's just when to pause.
Sure.
Because you just kind of take an assessment of where we're at, and if it's a good time to push an issue, because I have several core issues I'm continuously working on.
Sure.
But I always, I never stop. I mean, you keep it moving.
Sure.
Keep following up. Keep going. Don't give up, especially if it's something that the community is extremely passionate about.
Sure.
Or that would benefit the community, or even just a simple policy word change that's going to change the whole, way we do something.
Sure.
Because that's the beautiful thing about policy is it's just a couple words. You can change them and everything is different.
Absolutely.
But it takes time to get in there and learn it. And I will tell you that, when we talked all those years ago, I had an idea of how it worked, but I was absolutely off.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it is not what you think
unless
when
you're
you
in
get
the
in
room
there.
or in there, it's really hard to get. It's like, we can all imagine how to be an NFL quarterback, but until we put our butt on that field, we don't know what it's like.
Absolutely, and that's why when people who say, you should do this, I'm like, that in theory, we should, yes. But especially when you have 10 players on the field. Because that's bigger than any council in the state, and it actually, in my personal opinion, I think it's too big for Roswell.
Sure.
I think we actually just need 5 to effectively, but the 10 is a lot.
Sure.
And it actually is a lot more work for the administration.
Sure. I would, and I can see where your point is. I guess the one advantage too is you just have 10 voices, which means you get which, like I said, it's harder to get 10 people to agree than 5 people to agree. But
True. Yeah.
sometimes good ideas come from more people in a room. So it's a double-edged sword like anything else. But I can see exactly what you're talking about on that point of view. So I would also try to, because I think this is the part too, because I know you and I know, your passion, you care, and you do this because like everybody else, that's the one thing I want to say. People take their pot shots and everybody gets angry and I get it riled up in their world. But every single person that's throwing their hat in the ring for this election care about this city. Whether you agree on how how to get it done, that's the debatable part. But everyone has a passion, and or they wouldn't be doing this. And so I respect that part so much from all of our candidates. But I know you personally, and how you go out and talk to people and things, and you will engage people. And I know that always can be a double-edged sword too. And so has that been a lesson learned as far as balancing? Look, I have passion, other people have passion, but sometimes they got to figure out how to turn down or separate the passion to get look, there's good and bad of every decision made, but we got to weigh the most good versus the most, you know what I mean? There's those, like, we all think in terms of we're going to do these amazing, great things as a leader or as a representative. But when you get in the real thing and it's like, look, in the real world, you're going to have to bite some garbage here to get what you want here, and nothing's going to go there. I mean, has that been kind of a lesson you learned over this too, or learning how that balance works a little bit, where it's like, okay, I got to turn my passion back to put, you know what I mean?
That's why I brought up timing.
That dance.
Because timing is everything, especially if the energy isn't behind.
Sure.
And a lot of times I bring things up because I want to get them into the conversation.
Right.
I have no real concept of when it's going to move,
sure,
but you want it on the forefront of other people's minds.
Right.
So I constantly look for when to put something into the conversation,
right,
just like a reminder, or like the Portland Lose. Okay. Mm-hmm. I continuously, and that's a passion of our downtown businesses with mm-hmm. people needing a place to use the restroom.
Sure.
Our tourists. And so for me, I just really focus on keeping things moving.
Sure.
And when to keep it moving. And sometimes pull back, like you said, and then, okay, the door just opened,
sure,
push insert here.
Right.
But other times, so passion is an interesting thing.
Sure.
It's like, it's kind of like, yeah, I've learned to try to balance my passion, but it's what keeps me going.
Sure.
And it's not something I can give or take. And I realize how passionate I am because of how I feel when I see that something's not working right. If you've watched the city council meetings, there's certain things that I've pretty much stood up and said absolutely
sure
not on. And this administration and this council is a very kind of interesting mix.
Mm-hmm.
currently the administration is actually doing a really good job of hitting our core goals. And I would say that the core goals that were not established, but just kind of a natural flow, was a balanced budget. We really need to bring our city budget into the black.
Gotcha.
It's been off for years.
And I know that's something that this city council collectively has worked on pretty. That's been job one really for this term.
Absolutely.
For these
Well, so it's hard to expand and create quality of life items if you don't have any money or know where the money is coming from.
Sure. And
you definitely can't. You can't go out and buy a brand new car if you haven't paid your rent.
Right.
So we have to.
We can try, but it doesn't work out well.
Well, you shouldn't. I should say that's not actually a great idea.
Put it this way: you're usually ending up, in bigger problems later down the road when you're doing.
Well,
that,
yes, and the other side of that is bringing in GRT.
Mhm.
Okay, so I mean, you can't expand if you don't have it more. The money you have is the money you have.
Sure.
And there's of course grants and there's other programs that we can participate in. But again, the council and the administration has been focusing on creating opportunity. And those not only are opportunities for the citizens, it's also an opportunity for us to bring in more GRT.
Sure, growth.
And that GRT helps us expand and be able to do more. So it's all a balance. And that's been the hardcore focus of the administration and the council for the last 4 years.
Absolutely. And this is something, too, that, big changes happen gradual, and it does take time. And, like we talk about the air races, we talk about, this was a successful event. Is it where it's going to be? No, it's going to get up from here. And as far as monies and all that stuff, that I think will work itself out down the road here. But I think the biggest thing was it was a success. People came, they had a good time, and is it check every box? No, but it's not supposed to the year one. It's not going to. And so that's what I think a lot of it is. We got to remember too is, Rome wasn't built in a day. It took 7 days to build the earth here.
That was very short. That time span to get ready for that was very short.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually quite amazing that the city and the Raw team actually came together and create. Because there were streets laid. There was a lot of work there, and that's the initial setup requirement. And I think it was actually awesome. The racers were it was very important that the racers actually liked it here, because if they didn't, they wouldn't come back.
Well,
so that's where the word's going to spread. I'm very excited.
And I think that's where the success part is.
Yes.
And dollars and cents, we all knew that wasn't going to line up year one. But the thing that I think you needed to say was, to call this a success, was, did everybody have a good experience? And I can say for 100%, everybody had a good experience. People that came in, even out-of-towners, in-towners, everybody I know that went out to the event were saying how well run it was, how clean it was, how easy it was to navigate, how entertaining it was. Like, I heard nothing but positive on that side. And so for me, that's the victory, because if everybody had that experience, they're coming back and telling people for year two, and then the rest of it will work. And so that's why no, it was not going to check all the boxes. And if it did, that would be a miracle. That would just be, with logistics, when, you're basically saying, all right, we got 6 months to build Disney World. And that's kind of,
but
hard to do.
No, absolutely. And this first year was actually, I think, better than we expected.
Sure,
it actually did really well. So you're right. Pretty much up as the direction for us moving forward.
So I know we talked a little bit about budget, and that's been a big focus of this city council. But so let me ask you, first 4 years, what's been like what are you most proud of? Your accomplishments, things that you're saying, you know what? These are the things I'm most proud of I've done as a city councilor so far. Just share a couple with
It's so interesting that you say that, because I'm one of those that's very project oriented. So I move from the next project to the next project. And so I don't really look back and go, oh, look what I accomplished. So it takes me a minute to actually realize, okay, all the stuff that I was involved in.
Sure.
And I wasn't alone. I mean, there's 10 of us.
Well, exactly. Everything's a team effort. Yeah.
Councilman Heldenbrandt and Councilwoman Halverson, we were aligned in ideology, whether we knew it or not. And so
just the plan is just happened to show up that way.
I think there's been some absolute progress. When I ran 4 years ago, my focus was, of course, public safety, infrastructure, and antiquated laws, and then business development. And so that's been my primary focus for 4 years. And just right where we are right now can tell you that I feel very confident of being part of a team that had the same kind of concept and a push forward. Public safety, there's a lot coming in that. Of course, you know, my theory on public safety and crime. Crime, we need to actually is just a symptom of a greater problem, especially when you have the same people committing the crime over and over again. So I did a lot of studying 2.5 years, 3 years now. Dara Dana and I've been working on trying to understand the mental health aspect of it and how to help the community.
County Commissioner, if folks not familiar.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, County Commissioner.
Sorry,
Dara
my
Dana.
radio brain kicks in.
That's okay.
I explained to everybody.
Yes, don't
People,
do that.
You talk too much. I just try to explain things.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. My mother's always like, because I move so fast, I leave out a whole portion, like she's going to figure it out. You know, she's not.
Right.
So she's always like coming
What
in.
do you mean you're not following my train of thought?
Exactly. Didn't you hear me?
Right.
But so public safety, I believe there's a lot of work. And I'm going to actually say that many of the reasons I came back to run again is because I have stuff in motion in these 4 areas. And
you want to see it through.
I need to see. Well, I don't need to see it through because I'm at peace with that.
Sure.
Whatever happens, I'm still going to serve Roswell.
Sure.
But there's still stuff
You'd
on
like
the
to be
table.
in the room when it's still going on, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so unfortunately, I think this was kind of my concern. What I've noticed is when you change the guard, it takes time for them to adjust.
Sure.
And, it takes a year or two for them to adapt to the process, especially if they're not familiar with policy or not familiar with Robert's rules. Learning that process takes a minute. And right now, we have a forward motion that is moving, especially.
You want to stall that momentum.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And the follow-through is imperative.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of why I say consistency. And I've kind of said now's not the time for us to change course. You have a very solid administration.
Stick to the plan.
Yeah, well, yes, because we have things in motion. The zoning code needs to be changed. We have opioid funds that have been sitting there for 2 years. And so there's some of the things that I'm saying that we have to keep the course, but stay the course. And that's kind of why I've pushed that is because once you change guard, then everything starts to shift. And right now we have a good positive momentum going. We have development coming in. We have businesses opening and jobs being created. We are this close to balancing that budget. I mean, like this close. It's actually amazing what the finance committee has done with that. But that's kind of why I'm back here at the table.
Gotcha.
And
finish the job. So to speak.
Yes, absolutely. And like there's a fine line. Like I said, you have counselors who are highly individually minded, and so if things seem off, you'll know they'll step up. And you have an administration that is actually getting out there and making the connections and doing what needs to be done. I do want to hit on the flood. That's another reason. Because the flood is a serious thing, and a lot of people say, why isn't the convention center built yet? I'm like, because it's federal government.
Sure.
And you can expect to hold back for 4 or 5 years on that. And especially, I think there's a lot of processes that we need to work on in that, but paying for it, that's a big thing. Especially think about it. The federal government is shut down. FEMA is shut down. How long is it going to be shut down? Is FEMA going to, still exist? Do we have a plan in action? And that helps me circle around to another thing I kind of want people to understand is I'm extremly analytical, if you know anything about me. So I've analyzed where we're at. I analyzed am I good to come in? Am I still right for Roswell?
Sure.
And we still have some areas to focus. Yes, we're moving forward, but we have some areas to clean up. I think this administration and council could do a lot better in their communication. Yes, they meet the requirements that are in, but I think there's a connection that needs to be made with the community.
Sure.
We are putting up our public records notices, all of that stuff. It's following procedure. They're very good about that. I think there's a connection missing, a connection between the community. I think we can really work on outreach and connecting better.
And that's something that I try to tell folks a lot about this, and where And yes, getting out to vote and doing that's very much an important as a citizen to do this for your community and your city here. But the city of Roswell has so many committees and boards that John and Jaden Q Public are invited and encouraged to sit on. Like just a gee whiz, say you have a particular passion for the cemetery. There's a cemetery board that meets every month it's just average people that want to meet on
Absolutely.
there that come to decisions. And there's a bunch of other committees and things that work the same way. And to be honest, these are the entry levels of getting change done in city. When you have an issue going on with your sidewalks or whatever it is, they start in these committees and they're vetting it out, working out. And then they're trying to put a plan together to come with city council on this stuff so they can get this passed and stuff. So if you really want to be impactful in day-to-day those types of things, serve on these various committees. I'd say go down to City Hall, go to the website, find these various boards.
Call me.
Or call your city councilor and talk about it and start serving on that level. And I don't know how many times I see, we'll get notices from the city because I get, my little things. So-and-so meeting canceled due to lack of quorum and because they don't have anybody getting on it and things like that. And then I look at that and I say, well, this is the part everyone gets on Facebook complaining, but there ain't nobody stepping up in the opportunities where you can really step up and make a difference.
Right.
So I think
and that's one meeting
part of
a
what
month.
you're talking about, and I think that's part of where we need to do is first off, let's start having people actually average people sit on these committees and share their views and share their desires and problems and so forth, so we can fix this stuff and or get that stuff addressed. And this is how you, the average public, get involved in some of that stuff.
Well, and the actual decisions and thoughts of the committees is actually handed to the council. So when something comes before us, we are very aware of where they stood on something. So absolutely, it's imperative we know. And I'm going to move to the next item that brought me back, and I think we could work on planning. We're a very reactive group right now. I think.
What?
Yeah. That it's actually, we have stuff, and that comes from we had a flood. But okay,
Sure.
so what are we going to do moving forward? I think that the administration and the council could do better by actually proper proactive planning. We know we have to replace these pipes. You have miles of rusty pipes, so let's sit down and start talking what that looks like. We have to kind of come up with an idea of what we're going to do about the police department.
Gotcha.
Do we redo the whole building as it is, or do we come in with what is the public?
Well, we got to
want?
stop waiting until the place is falling apart to do that.
Absolutely, yes, because so that's why we got to start creating this proper planning. But I also kind of want to say, when you look at the numbers of how many that have come out and vote, and I think I've said this to you with you in conversations, and I remember saying this constantly. If you think your vote doesn't count, you are absolutely wrong.
Absolutely correct on that statement.
The data for voting is used on a federal on many different levels. They actually look, and this is when I say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Because that's who your federal leaders, your state leaders, they look at the numbers of the people that turned out. They look at the numbers of the people that are engaged because they, of course, want to help their constituents. And so if they see high engagement, they engage with us because, it's actually a proactive thing to do. So your numbers count. And right now, we have, I think it's a generational thing. I think the concept and the act of voting has kind of shifted.
People have soured on the point
I think
of it,
my
I guess.
generation doesn't vote like my father's generation. It was, ingrained in.
I do miss, growing up as a kid, I felt like your parents would take you in to vote and they made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Now, that's missing.
And that's why I'm saying I think there's some, that behavior that was ingrained in us I think it's shifted. And so it's going to be interesting to study that.
Absolutely.
Because when you have, 4 or 5% turning out, you said 10%.
Yeah, I think over the weekend I saw 8% is where we're at right now. I think
8%.
But either way, it's not good.
It's not good. No, you at least, and that's just it. So that's the other thing I have to say. Well, you realize in the last election, 389 people put me in office. Okay, that was the vote. Out of 4,000 in my ward, 389 people voted me into office. And I take that very seriously because there's a fact where it makes me realize that the other, I can't do the math, but the other 3,600, however many are, they aren't up to date on what's going on. So I feel a bigger duty to make sure that I'm sound in my decisions, because I'm making decisions for those who are not aware of what's happening.
Absolutely. And if y'all look at those elections, like you were saying, 800, I've seen like Ward 5, I've seen that race been decided by 4 and 5 votes between the winner and loser of that race.
Yes.
Over the years. 4 and 5 votes. 4 votes, people. Don't tell me your vote doesn't count.
Absolutely.
That's
it
absolutely
matters.
so.
It could change everything.
Please vote tomorrow. If you have not early voted, I don't think you can early vote today, but tomorrow you can vote at the different polling locations. You can go to any of those polling locations and vote. Don't forget, even if you don't live in the city, you still have an election to vote on, because there's school board candidates. There's the mill levy, the bond, those
Soil Conservation Division.
Yeah, exactly. There's other things that they're going to ask for your opinion on. So even if you don't live within a city limits, you still have a municipal election tomorrow. So please get out and vote. And I know Pecos Trails, the transit, the bus service will be offering free rides to polling locations tomorrow. So if you need to get to a polling location, just show up to a bus stop and tell them you're going to a poll location. They'll take you there for free tomorrow. So, and I think there's other.
We have a great transit.
Yeah, and I think there's other organizations doing similar things. So, you can get to the polls out there too. I know we're 24 hours away from the election here, but if folks do want to have questions or talk to you, probably best bet shoot through your social media, Facebook maybe, or
no, actually, no. Well, you can Messenger. I don't check it as much as my text, so that's why I always say call or text.
Call
me.
direct.
505-353-6669.
Okay.
And I just keep putting that out there, and so yes. Okay. And I do get a lot of people who reach out to me.
Good. I'm just by default a Facebook guy. So I just I'll just reach out on Facebook. Yeah. But yeah, call direct, and of course, and here's the beauty. If you go to the city's website, you can see email and contact for every one of your city councilors, and Christina's one of them in Ward 1 there. So,
and I also will tell you on that website, when they asked me to put up a bio, I did not. I put up a 2024. I put up my plan of action, so you can see what my work and my focus has been. And should I be honored again to serve the public, I will, of course, put up a new one with my focus and everything, but you could see where I was headed, and you could see my focus. I put it right on paper, and it's on the website.
Absolutely. Well, before we go, is there any other things you wanted to cover that we sidebarred or didn't get a chance to talk about?
No, I think we went over it pretty good.
Good deal.
Just basically, let me say, hey, Roswell, I'm back again. I'm going to try this again. I'm out here supporting you. I love this community. I love living in Ward 1, and I have the experience and the knowledge to actually continue getting this done for you. So I ask for your vote tomorrow. And also feel free to reach out to me and call me anytime.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate win, lose, or draw tomorrow. I appreciate everything you do for our community and everything. Yes. And I'm sure, and again, win, lose, or draw, I'm sure it's not going to be last to hear from you on the radio.
No, I was going to say, no, win, lose, I'm totally at peace with tomorrow. Yeah. So, because I'm still going to continue to serve my community. That's just who I am.
And obviously, anything we can do to help, and obviously as a city councilor, I know we kind of got busy and stuff, and floods and things happen. But I'd love to get back to where we were having some of those people that make the sausage come on the show again.
That's the interesting thing about tomorrow. So I've been holding off on a whole lot of ideas because it's like I'm on pause,
right? Because
I'm waiting for tomorrow to tell me which the universe is going to say, okay, go this way or go this way. So, but I have plans for both paths. So I do have plans for upcoming should I come back in here. Yes, we're going to continue pick up where we were because it's been a weird couple of years, and so I'm just getting my feet back grounded, and we're gonna do a lot of
I just want a normal 4 years without floods and fires and Lord knows what else. Yeah.
Yes. At least we didn't hit on the famine.
This is true.
Yes. Fingers crossed. I think we're in a good spot, and everything's moving in a really positive way. So I have some great plans.
That's right. I think we're the phoenix rising out of the ashes now.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful.
Literally in some cases. So.
Yes.
Well, we all seen Harry Potter now. Everyone knows the reference. You know, if you did that before Harry Potter, people are like, what? But now everyone's seen Harry Potter. Like, I know what a phoenix is.
No, actually, I did not connect it to Harry Potter at all. So.
Oh, really? Well,
I think we did that last time because I don't watch Harry Potter, but I think of a phoenix rising. And so
I just think there's a generation of kids that learned about a phoenix because they watched the wizard had a phoenix, and when he turned, Phoenix did what Phoenix did.
But it's still a good reference because I remember it from World War II. So yeah, we're solid.
Yeah, I had a reference. I just think that's how we learn it. That's how a lot of people. But Christina, appreciate it as always.
Absolutely.
Thank you, and we'll see you down the road here.
Absolutely, look forward to it.
Yep, and folks, get out and vote. Tomorrow's your day, and and if I see you on Facebook complaining and find out you didn't vote, I will call you out. I'm just saying. You don't get to. You lose that card.
All right, there you go.
Thank you, Christina.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. It is 7:55. Let's pause for news and sports and whatever else I can get in there. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. An active emergency alert was issued Friday at the HF Sinclair Navajo refinery. Artesia police initially responded to reports of an explosion and thick smoke that was emitting from the plant and drifting over parts of the city. A shelter indoors advisory was also issued for the city of Artesia. By 1 p.m, the emergency was lifted after a fire was apparently extinguished. A spokesperson for the refinery did indicate that 3 refinery workers were injured and taken to a hospital for treatment. Their updated conditions are not known. The spokesperson also did not have information about what could have caused the blast and fire. Eddy County announces that Tiana Romero has been selected as the new executive administrative assistant to County Manager Mike Gallagher. The appointment marks an internal promotion for Romero, who has grown within Eddy County over the past 5 years, spending the last 4 years serving in the county manager's administration department. A statement from the county says Romero has built a reputation for her strong work ethic, professionalism, and commitment to serving the county with integrity. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today, 80 to 85 on the afternoon high, and with high pressure overhead, we'll be getting sunshine through the day. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll warm up a little bit on Tuesday, low to mid 80s, maybe a little bit warmer than that around the Carlsbad area. And then on Wednesday, we're expecting mid 80s across the entire area, sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The Wool Bowl Showdown went to the Roswell Coyotes on Friday night. Final game of the regular season, Roswell beats rival Goddard 35-21. And the playoff brackets were announced over the weekend. Roswell gets the second seed, so they get a bye past the first round. They'll play the winner of Belen against Valley. Meanwhile, Goddard will be in action Friday night hosting Deming. That's Saturday, at 1 o'clock. Goddard's the 8th seed. Deming with a 1-9 record, the 12th seed. But remember, Goddard only beat them by 1 touchdown earlier in October. Dexter is the 2 seed in Class 3A after a 50-0 walloping of Socorro. They'll play the winner of West Las Vegas, Ruidoso. NMMI, the 5th seed, they'll host number 12 Wingate. And in 8-man playoffs, it was Gateway beating Hagerman 50-0. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. 2 federal judges have ruled the Trump administration must tap into contingency funds to make payments for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, during the federal government shutdown. Roughly 42 million Americans rely on SNAP to help buy food. U.S. food companies are still staying prepared and are still bracing for a dip in November sales if federal food aid benefits do lapse due to the ongoing government shutdown. President Donald Trump said the United States and Canada will not restart trade talks, but Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney apologized to the president for an Ontario political ad using former President Ronald Reagan saying tariffs spell disaster. Restaurant Brands beat quarterly sales and profit estimates, helped by resilient traffic at its Burger King and Tim Hortons chains. Consumers are gravitating towards cheaper meals, as consumer spending on dining is likely to remain under pressure through early 2026. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Chris DeGaulle is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And good morning. We're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. Stay tuned next hour. Dr. Powell with Eastern Mexico University Roswell join us. Talk a little bit about, of course, the election tomorrow, mill levying, little update on what's going on at EMUR as well here. So we'll all have that for you next hour. And we'll be back on the other side. Don't forget, you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. At 34 days, the government shutdown is on the verge of becoming the longest ever. If it runs into tomorrow, it will be the longest shutdown on record. Food aid for millions is at risk, and airline passengers are feeling the pinch. Some air traffic controllers are not getting paid, stage a sick out. And President Trump is chiming in.
With the shutdown entering its sixth week, the president said he won't be extorted by Democrats. Appearing on CBS's 60 Minutes, he said that Democrats who are demanding an extension in health care subsidies have lost their way and predicted that they will eventually capitulate to Republicans. The president said if Democrats don't vote to reopen the government, it's their problem. Greg Clugston, Washington.
British police say a man faces attempted murder and other charges following a stabbing attack on a train that wounded 11 people. A railway worker who tried to stop the attack is hospitalized, suffering life-threatening wounds.
Some of the eyewitnesses described how heroically he had dealt with the attacker. Deputy Chief Constable Stuart Cundy of British Transport Police said, having viewed the CCTV from the train, the actions of the member of the staff were nothing short of heroic and undoubtedly saved people's lives.
The BBC's Daniel Sanford. Israel says the latest remains of 3 hostages returned from Gaza are soldiers who were killed in the October 2023 Hamas attack on southern Israel that ignited the war. A parade in downtown Los Angeles today and a rally at the stadium. It's all for the World Series champion LA Dodgers. On Wall Street this hour, stocks remain mixed. The Dow is down about 180 points, while the Nasdaq trading 161 points higher, and the S&P is up 21 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
One of the monkeys that escaped last week after a truck overturned in Mississippi has been shot dead by a woman who says that she feared for the safety of her family.
Jessica Bond Ferguson said she was alerted early Sunday by her 16-year-old son, who said that he thought he had seen a monkey running in the yard outside their home near Heidelberg, Mississippi. She got out of bed, grabbed her firearm and her cell phone, and stepped outside where she saw the monkey about 60 feet away. Bond Ferguson said she and other residents had been warned about diseases that the monkeys carried, so she fired her gun. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office confirmed in a social media post that a homeowner had found one of the monkeys on their property Sunday morning, but said the office didn't have any details. Bernie Bennett reporting.
The death toll from a deadly landslide in western Kenya has risen to 26 after 4 more bodies were retrieved. The latest update on the casualties comes as rescue efforts were suspended yesterday because of a flash flood in the Rift Valley area. News and analysis, townhall.com. The nation's largest police fleet of Tesla vehicles is set to patrol the streets of Las Vegas.
The 10 cyber trucks were a gift from an anonymous billionaire for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Clark County Sheriff Kevin McMahill sees the addition of the vehicles as part of a larger effort to enhance the department's technology. That donation, though, raising a few concerns from government oversight experts about private donors' influence on public departments and the boost of the Tesla brand. Jason Walker reporting.
The United Arab Emirates has opened a major oil summit. Participants in the meeting predict a rise in energy prices. They believe that power demands for artificial intelligence and global aviation will drive the increase. However, the UAE plans to boost production, and the U.S. moving in the very same direction. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist said, what does he say? I'm on the Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Trying to check to see if this was off.
Oh.
But I kept picking up the napkin with my phone and it kept getting in the way of the thing and seeing it was off. So I was doing a Charlie Chaplin with my phone there. While talking on the radio. Sorry about that.
It is one of those things where you have to like separate your mind. You're like, I'm still talking over here, but I've got other things going on over here.
Yeah, I was all I could think of was that scene with Charlie Chaplin. He was trying to pick up the hat, walking down the boardwalk. He keeps kicking it while he's trying to pick it up. Yep. That's what I felt like right now. Well, happy Monday, everybody.
Ah, yes.
Welcome to it. I know it's kind of dragging, even though we're all off kilter with our clock.
Just a time change and Halloween hangover. I mean, you know, all the post candy comas that we all went through as we picked through our kids' candy. I think my kids are they were a little sad. We didn't do the traditional trick or treating like we normally.
Door knocking.
We didn't do any door knocking. I am going to get them a giant bag of candy each and just dump it into their bag so that they have something to show for it. But yeah, we didn't do it the traditional trick or treating thing because we had a party to go to and there were things. So but
Halloween festivity.
Halloween festivity. Yep, and Saturday was nice. We actually got a chance to take a trip up the hill to the cool pines of Ruidoso for a little bit. I will say this. If you're gonna take the drive, give it about a week because there were some leaves, there were some changing, of the colors, but we're not quite there yet.
Okay.
There was still a whole lot of green up there, interspersed with bits of yellows and maybe even like a little red every
and I wonder,
so often.
Like it's kind of a warm week this week.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's gonna slow down the process a little bit.
It very well could.
Of course, I don't know if Ruidoso is gonna get. Of course, it's gonna be warmer here, but. Up in the mountains might be cooler.
Yeah, but the drive itself was quite nice. It was beautiful as always. Lots of turny twists.
Do you have like a favorite eating establishment or place you go to when you hit town? Or?
It's funny. I don't really have a specific. That's kind of why I like going to Ruidoso because there's always some new
There's always a good place to eat
or
somewhere.
something I've just overlooked.
Yeah,
like this time it was kind of funny. We were driving into town and we were at a stoplight. where La Hacienda is. And on their building, it says best burger in town. So I was intrigued, and I'm like, let's try to swing by the La Hacienda when we're done with whatever we're doing in town. We didn't end up doing that.
That's a bold statement, because I can think of at least 2-3 other places in town that have a really good burger.
Yeah,
I don't know about Las Haciendas, but I know at least 2 other places.
But that's the thing
that
is,
have a really good burger.
It looked like the kind of place that would have the best burger.
It could be, yeah.
Because it looks like one of those places
it's a bold statement.
It looks like one of those places that has the flat flat top grill that's been seasoned over like probably decades, and that one guy who's been working the grill the whole time.
Yeah.
Like not to give a free plug, but Julie's place. I've always felt, because it's just that couple.
Julie's has a good burger.
They have a fantastic burger.
Yeah.
But I digress. We actually ended up going to a place called Jockey-san.
Okay.
Which was interesting because we saw a menu at this place that we at this establishment that we were at beforehand, and we're like, "Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, that looks good." But to get there, the Google Maps or whatever we were using to direct turn by turn took us on this like switchback road that drove directly by beside the Lake Alto.
Okay.
So we're like up there by the lake and this was a beautiful drive.
Oh yeah.
But it was very like hilly and switchbacky roads and only one lane, and I'm like, I feel like we're going into a residential neighborhood at this point.
You're up by the country club.
Right. But then we pull around a corner and there's the place. But then I look over just slightly to my right and I see the highway right here. It's like they could have just said, take a right here, and we could have gone.
I think as the crow flies, you probably went the shorter way.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it was, I mean,
Rio
it was
is like that, where you cut in there to get to the other side of the highway. It's easier to go through the switchbacks to get to depending on certain trips. I've just done enough trips with her parents and everything in Rio.
I don't get lost in Ruidoso enough. Like I don't venture off the beaten path. That's the thing, is those switchbacky roads eventually lead back into each other.
Yeah.
Or they take you back up to Upper Alto and you just do the entire trip you just did one more time, which is what we did. So, but yeah, no, it was a nice time.
Good deal.
Great, great weather.
That's because I like Lincoln County Grill's got a really good burger. That's one of my go-tos in Ruidoso for burgers. The place that's a little newer, that's been there, it's more of a burger themed place. Something Jack's or something, Anaheim Jack's.
Anaheim Jack's. Yeah.
That's a really good burger.
We ended up going there a couple of trips ago, and just getting like apps, like sides, and it was so much food. Like they bring out this insane tray of like poppers or like
you were eating at that place.
What do we have? Green chili, the fried chili strips.
Their burgers are on point. I had a fine and tasty burger there, and I know there's a couple other places. Like they used to have that little fast food joint. I don't think it was a Mr. Burger or something, and I don't think it's the same anymore. But back in the day, that was a good little burger too. Kind of a think of it in a Blake's kind of way,
right?
Kind of deal.
Or okay, if I could tap into more old school nostalgia, Roswell. Wally Burger.
Yeah, the Wally Burger. Yeah.
More along the lines of like a place that's just, they've got a couple locations, but they're established and they make a damn fine burger.
Burger Time or Burger something like that. I can't remember what it was. But
sounds about right. And I will say this, Ruidoso is home to, and I don't know this for sure, but I think the only still standing Blockbuster sign in the contiguous United States.
It's called Blockbuster Plaza. Yeah, there's no Blockbuster anymore, but it's called Blockbuster Plaza.
But it's still got the old,
and it's got the
old logo.
Yeah, I always found that humorous.
Me too. I'm like, I hope they don't go and change that. It's like that's the one. That's like seeing the sign up North Roswell for the for the bar. Right. It used to be, and it's always been there. It's kind of established.
Right. Exactly.
Don't go tearing that down.
Yep. It's part of the landscape.
That's right.
But well, good deal. That's I went and I bought my suit. I got a suit. Because they were saying you should rent a tux. I said, my suits are all too big. Just give me an excuse to buy a suit. So, and my wife buys a dress.
The thing with renting a tux though, and I don't know if this is the same with buying a suit. Like I'm not sure. Did you go to like a high end suit establishment or did you go to like a Men's Warehouse?
I was in Roswell.
Oh, there you go. The one thing I'll say about renting a tux, the experience that I have was at Hippie Chicks, and
yes,
they take the time to
That's
like
where I was going to go if I was going to rent.
check your measurements and check, your
Yeah,
so
they're very thorough.
you're getting a good fit.
Yep, they're very thorough. I just decided to buy a suit. So
All right, and so it fits well. Right off the rack. Look at you.
I'm way smaller.
Yeah, it's not very often you get to see somebody buy a suit off the rack and it
Yeah.
just be we're good.
Yeah,
No tailoring, no like hemming.
a 42 short fit me perfectly.
Look at you. All right.
Because I'm short. In a regular fit. I tried the slim fit and it fit good, but I'm just not used to the snugness that a slim fit has.
Right.
So I went with a regular fit.
So now are we going like suit jacket bow tie, suit jacket regular tie?
I went with regular tie.
Okay.
I'm going black tie, black suit, black tie,
Black
white
tie.
shirt. I got a little white pocket
Boutonniere?
square
Okay.
and a little boutonniere thing to put in there. and
Nice.
That's what we're going with. I got a little set there.
Pocket protector.
Yeah.
Or if it was my dad, pack of cigarettes.
Mine's a pocket swatch, I guess they call it.
See, that's the move right there. Is you need to go find yourself a nice like pocket watch with a chain.
Oh yeah.
And then just carry that like with you, like loop it to the belt loop, and then in the pocket, and then just every now and again, just nonchalantly pop it out, check the time, and pop it back in.
Train's late.
Yeah. Or you can go the other route, get yourself a cane, and make sure that your coat has tails. And
That's right.
You could sword fight with with
Dumb and
people a la
Dumber
Dumb and
style.
Dumber. Yeah.
If I showed up in like a turquoise or an orange suit, the tux, the top
See,
hat, the cane, and tails.
That's the look, man. That is the look. I said last week it's a scouting event. I think you should just show up in full neckerchief.
I could.
Like just.
But they're fiercing up. They all have those already, so they're going away from those for the gala. They
Yeah.
Unless they had like I would be like military has a formal uniform.
Yeah.
Like that's like a tuxedo like uniform.
Right.
They have one. All branches. I'm just saying the Boy Scouts maybe come up with one. Like
Yeah.
a coat with the Scout.
I would
Yeah.
love to see formal neckerchiefery. Like if you work it out, like it doesn't have to have like a logo on the thing. Just have it just be black, like matte black, and then a solid black neckerchief. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, for more formal occasions,
I think so. I think I could. Maybe I didn't go with a vest. We looked at vest, but decided to go against a vest.
Yeah, vest and jacket does feel a bit ostentatious.
Well, I figure, it's there. But my wife was one suggestion. I tried one on. She said, nah, it doesn't work.
It is much handier if you are carrying a sidearm. Just saying. Quicker access,
Yeah, but I went without. Sans that.
Fair. Cummerbund?
No cummerbund. It's a
okay.
suit, not a tux.
Okay, not a tux, right.
So no cummerbund.
I never did understand, what is the purpose of the cummerbund? Is it just to cover up the space between the shirt and the pants? Like, does it have a use?
I'm guessing it's purely decorative, maybe to break up the eye. I have no idea.
It's like the salad fork of the fashion
What's
world.
the point of a tie at the end of the day?
Well, that's a fashion. That's a statement piece.
It serves zero function.
Nobody ever says, "Hey, I like your cummerbund."
You
Some
never
mighty
know.
nice cod piece you got there.
If you happen to be wearing one, maybe I will compliment you on your cummerbund.
It's like asking, what is the purpose of the appendix,
You're supposed to wear other clothes with your cummerbund.
Oh, I thought this was cummerbunds only.
Just want to point that out. I think our guest is here.
I believe
right?
I
heard
heard
doors opening
doors
and closing, so I think
shut.
our guest is here. Dr. Sean Powell will join us here from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, in just a few minutes. Of course, tomorrow is Election Day. In case you haven't heard, I've been saying it about 10 times. And if, from what I understand, only 8% have voted. So get out there and vote tomorrow. But Dr. Powell will join us, talk about the mill levy here. That's one of the things you'll be deciding on at the on the ballot here tomorrow in tomorrow's election. So we'll talk about that and anything else going on with ENMBR too.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you want to up the folks to show up to your polling location, instead of giving out stickers that say I voted, give out stickers that say I farted.
There you go.
I would vote there. Just saying, it would bring in the masses.
It sure would.
At least the folks who think like me.
Bringing the masses and the gases.
Yes. The masses with gas.
Coming from the...
Yes.
Keep the rhyme going.
Well, I was just going to leave it there, but yeah. It's a Monday morning. We're trying to keep it radio friendly there, Michael.
You played home.
Keister. How about that?
You played home. There you go. Give you the sasses. All right, it is 8:19. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today, 80 to 85 on the afternoon high, and with high pressure overhead, we'll be getting sunshine through the day. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll warm up a little bit on Tuesday, low to mid 80s, maybe a little bit warmer than that around the Carlsbad area. And then on Wednesday, we're expecting mid 80s across the entire area, sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 51 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 41%. I think the wind gauge is still down. It still says NA out there. Humidity, yes, that's the, 41%. For today, sunny and a high of 79 expected. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Overnight low of 42. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, sunny, 83 for a high. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, expect clear skies. Overnight low of 45 degrees. West winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, mid-80s, 85 for a high there with northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Clear Wednesday night with an overnight low of 44. And then 84 for a high on Thursday under sunny skies. And then it cools down Friday. Sunny, 74 for a high. So just about 10 degrees cooler there. And then for the weekend, back up for a high near 80 on Saturday. And then we drop down into upper 60s, near 70, 69 for Sunday there. So, but at least first half of the week here, looks like it'll be nice and warm. And maybe a little cool down here about Friday of this week. So that's what we're looking at right now. It is, let me get back to this screen, 21 minutes after 8. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break. Then Dr. Sean Powell will join us from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Experience Still Waters with Leanna Crawford, the Still Waters Tour.
He leads me by still waters till my fears are gone.
With special guest Kay Thompson, Saturday, November 15th at Waymaker Church in Roswell. Get tickets now at leannacrawford.com with VIP package available or at the door. Get your tickets now for the Still Waters Tour featuring Leanna Crawford, Saturday, November 15th at Waymaker Church, 202 South Sunset in Roswell. This is an all-ages event.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
No doubt about it, our favorite season is fall. Leaves fall, temperatures fall, and electric bills fall. Fall brings us the joy of mowing our lawn for the last time and the sadness of picking that last tomato. Here at Roswell Seed Company, we start to talk about pansies, broomweed, and the first freeze. Yeah, we can get downright giddy. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company, reminding you that fall is when Mother Nature starts to show off. Try not to miss any of it.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
I am Amanda Michon. I am the lead singer of a local band in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I think that a lot of artists, musicians, performers alike tend to not have health insurance. We think that because we don't have a 9-to-5 job, we aren't eligible. But Be Well helps connect you with health insurance that is accessible to us. I thought that insurance was just going to be my physical health, but Be Well also offers mental health care. And taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. Go online to BeWellNM.com. What's the best that can happen?
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Dr. Sean Powell from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for the time today. I appreciate the ability to come on and speak with you.
Anytime. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Of course, obviously, Election Day's tomorrow. We'll get to that here in a minute here, but it just so happens that, you just showed up on the day that, oh, yeah, by the way, you can start registering for spring semester and all that here, too, now.
Right.
For Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell.
So registration opened yesterday, and as far as I know, as of this morning, 86 students have already registered for that spring semester.
The early bird's getting the worms there.
Well, and as you know, the earlier you do it, the more opportunities you have because there's more open classes.
Especially if you have a very tight schedule and you're like, look, I can only go on this day or this day, then right now is probably the best time. That way you can lock in those specific times and things like that. Particularly if it's a more popular class or a class that I need from a degree plan, but they only offer at certain times and things like that. That's the earlier the better on that kind of stuff. Don't wait till December and in January to figure that out. Let's get it done now here in November while you less stressed.
Well, and it's interesting, in the fall semester, 85% of our students come from Chavez County, 95% come from the state of New Mexico, so very few out-of-state students come to our program. So for me, that means that if you want to get into those classes, there's going to be a lot of local people that are going to be working adults, or they might be taking care of children, or whatever the situation is, taking care of parents, and they want to come back and they want to grab another set of credentials, they want to earn a degree, and they want to be able to go out and improve their lives and the lives of their families.
Absolutely. So, but sometimes it takes a little plotting and planning. So the more time you give yourself to do that, the easier you'll find it is to navigate that process. And of course, if you're just thinking, you know what, I think I'm going to start maybe sign up for some classes here in the spring. You can come on down to the campus today, get registered, start the enrollment process, and by the end of the day, we can have you looking up financial aid and start picking your classes and everything else by the end of the day.
And the earlier you do it, like you say, the more opportunities you have with classes, and the more appointments are available with the financial aid and with the advisors. So we would welcome people to come down as early as possible. And again, the age range from the fall, and I'm just amazed by this, 13 was our youngest student enrolled, and 78 is the oldest.
Good deal. It's, literally everybody and anybody on the campus here at the college here. And I'm going to take a stab. The spring semester will show similar numbers in that age gap and age range there.
It's been a true community effort. And again, I want to thank all the great faculty and staff members on campus. They're working really hard to meet those community needs.
Absolutely. And I know true with the availability of online and things. So there's a lot of options too, where you can, maybe you can't be there all the time, but let's start an online class. Let's start that way. If your work schedule, life schedule kind of doesn't dictate you spending time in classrooms, well, there's other options too to get that degree plan or get that goal you're trying to achieve. But the sooner you start talking to people and making that happen, the easier it is to get that process in the way you want it. So.
And as you say all the time, so the website is roswell.enmu.edu.
Yes.
So go out to the website. You can find information on registration. And again, the spring registration for 26 and the summer is open also.
Absolutely. And so if you want to, in the comfort of your underwear, start checking out the course plans and options, go right to the website and start scrolling and searching and researching.
Okay, and I'm going to leave that visual image behind for me, but okay.
Pants are optional. That's your call. Now, if you're in public, pants are not optional. Just another tip. But definitely want to. But definitely now's the time to sign up there. Another thing we want to put on people's radar is coming up here in about a week or so is a career fair there at the campus. If you're looking for work, there's some opportunities here.
So November 19th is going to be a career fair on campus, and we appreciate everyone who's involved in putting that on, and all of the local businesses and companies that are going to be there. They do a great job, and there's usually a big attendance from the community. So it's November 19th from 1 to 4 in the ITC Commons, and we would encourage people to come out. This is a great opportunity to find out what jobs are available. Students go as well, and you can see what the opportunities are locally, and then there's some statewide companies and some regional companies that come as well.
Very good. Are companies preparing to interview and stuff at the event there? So should people come ready to do that kind of thing, or is this mostly just dropping off job applications or resume kind of thing? Or
I think it's going to vary on the company and the type of job that they're hiring for. It's not like a teacher fair where the education majors will go and they are going to be interviewed, at least as far as I know. But that doesn't mean it couldn't happen.
Gotcha.
I think
so be prepared, but just bring a bunch of your resumes, your job app, those types of things, and but dress to maybe be asked to sit down, be asked a few questions.
Yes.
Be prepared, as the scouts say. Be prepared.
And again, congratulations on that Lifetime Eagle Scout Award. That was an amazing ceremony.
I'm very honored to do that. It's such it's like I said in my speech with them. I was like, scouting has done so much for me. You don't give me any more. I owe you. But I am very honored that we did that. That was cool. And I'm very appreciative that you guys hosted that event. We had a great turnout, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think the Conquistador Council is going to be hosting an event this Saturday.
Matter of fact, I'm going to be emceeing their 100th anniversary gala at the Artesia Country Club Saturday night, 6 p.m. And I think I know Friday was the last day to register, but I think if you sweet talk them, they might get you in there. I don't know. I don't know how stringent the country club is on letting in last minute reservations, but you give them a try, see what they say. But,
see what happens.
Yeah, but that'll be. Yeah, I've lost weight and everything, so my suits were way too big. So I was like, I got to get a suit that, doesn't look like I'm swimming in my dad's suit or something. But yes, they are definitely doing that here. So, but yes, be prepared for the job fair to get your get your resumes with you. Maybe dress to be prepared to be interviewed. You may or may not have an opportunity there. So, good deal. And that's November the 19th.
19th. And then coming up, Veterans Day, we'll be holding a Veterans Day observation November 11th.
Okay.
So we're actually going to do it on Veterans Day this year, and it'll be at 11 o'clock. I believe one of the rifle and drill teams from the Institute is going to be there.
Come down and
yes,
do a demo.
And this will be on our campus at Eastern Mexico University at Roswell in the ITC Commons. And so if you're interested and want to come to our Veterans Day observation, please plan to come down on November 11th, and we would be glad to have you participate or just observe that ceremony.
Yeah, it's important that we, I think I would encourage veterans to come out. I know a lot of veterans tend to not like being in the spotlight, but it's important that you come out to these events. Not so much we can honor you. That's yes. I mean, we want to, and I know you might feel a little different about that. But you're the inspiration for the next generation to fill the void that we're going to need. We're always going to need people to step up and serve, and we need you to be the example to show them why. So it's important for you to come out to events. Like when the high school does their events this week, please come out. Of course, the citywide Veterans Day celebration will be this Saturday on the courthouse lawn here, beginning about 8:30 or so with gathering, and then parade about 9 o'clock-ish on here. Just a reminder, we are each year we have a theme, like Korean War veterans. But this year we're honoring women in uniform. So we're going to have several different women that will be spotlighting as part of this year's veteran celebration. And but it's all veterans, but each year with our theme. So the women in uniform for this year's theme, but that'll be this Saturday as well too. So come out this Saturday, and then please on Veterans Day proper, come on out to the college and please participate. And by the way, if you're a veteran and you're a student, they have veteran services and things. There's, if you veteran pantries to other veteran needs and things. There's a lot of resources for veterans on campus too. So if you're not familiar with them, use the Veterans Day as an opportunity to go check some of them out.
Well, just wanted to mention that. And then I did want to thank Casa Maria and Sunset Villa. They put on a masquerade ball this past Saturday, and it was in sponsorship of our nursing program.
Okay.
And so it was to promote nursing scholarships. And so we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Had over 100 people that appeared at that event, and we had a great time.
Of course, you didn't know who they were. They were all masquerading.
All in mass, all in mass. But it was a fun evening, and we had a good time, and we really appreciate the community support again from Casa Maria and Sunset Villa for our nursing program scholarships.
That's great that they're supporting that, and again, this is kind of part of that. What the campus and what the college is about is that community partnership, and what the college does and what the curriculum and everything is offered is based really on the needs of the community and everything around it, and it evolves to that thing. And so that's a constant fluent relationship where and that dictates your curriculum. When you invest the resources you invest the money in, and when we ask for, which is going to transition to this mill levy here, segue, but this is what that investment is about. Is it's sealing that community and college relationship to make sure that the college is able to meet the community's needs, and that the community is able to come and flourish by visiting that campus and taking advantage of all of its resources. So.
Well, and thank you for that segue, that introduction. So tomorrow is Election Day.
Yes.
And we appreciate the E&M Roswell Foundation for all their support of our mill levy campaign. We are asking for an increase in mill levies from 1 mill to 2 mills. The situation is there's 17 two-year campuses in the state. 3 campuses, and we're one of them, only have 1 mill. This mill levy funding can be used to benefit programs and the campus. The way that we worded the question in the mill levy is to expand career and technical education. We worked with our attorneys to make it as readable as possible. I think if you look at it, it's like any other election ballot question. We tried to make it as clear as we could.
Sure.
However, there's legal requirements that you have to put into it.
Lawyers always mess it
up. But we worked with them, and
sure.
And really, the way the question was worded was intentional because it says expand career and technical education. So the funding that would come from this additional mill could only be used for those purposes. The thing about that, a mill levy is a permanent tax. I understand that. And like you had indicated, the purpose of the campus is to meet student and community needs. And I know when I talk to people in the community, what they're missing is plumbers and electricians and HVAC workers and welders. And also on the healthcare side, need more nurses
and
respiratory therapists, every field in the nursing side. And so that's what this election is really all about, is to assist our campus in meeting student and community needs. One of the things that people talk to me about is it's very difficult for individuals to agree to a tax increase, especially if they're on a fixed income. And I totally understand that. I understand where they're coming from. However, I'm looking at the current situation and the future situation and trying to meet those community and student needs. And one way to work out of low income or poverty, if you will, is to provide those educational opportunities for students. And I've mentioned stories on here before about students that we've had who've graduated and gone on to great careers early in their life. And, we track with some of those folks to see how they're doing. And one of the students that I ran into from a recent graduation back in May, she was a nurse and she got her license, and now she's a nursing manager at one of the facilities here in town. And so there's just lots of opportunities in both healthcare and in the career technical education side of the house. And we would just encourage people to give good due consideration to this. Again, I can ask you to vote on the legislation or on this ballot question that's on the ballot, and it's a one-page ballot this year. I went to do early voting, and there were the mayor question, the city councilors, the school board. We do have 3 members of our community college board that are running unopposed, and so they would show up if you're in their areas. And then the mill levy question. And so that's a short ballot this year.
Yeah, it is.
But we would ask for people to consider that.
Please, our county folks that not necessarily going to have a city council or mayoral race, you still, like you said, have school board, these mill levies. We need, just because maybe you're not voting for a mayor or city council per se, there's still some important questions that they want answers from you on. And so please go out and vote today or tomorrow here during election day here. So,
and if the mill levy were to pass, so we'll know more tomorrow evening, and then again Wednesday morning we should know for sure the definite course of the mill levy. And if it's successful, what we're planning to do is start the process to bring a physical therapy assistance program to campus, and then also a diesel mechanics program.
Can I ask the other question? I know that's not the one you don't want to think about or whatever, but let's say it doesn't pass. What does that mean for the campus? What does that mean? What is that? How do you pivot from there?
If the mill levy weren't to pass, then we wouldn't be able to bring these 2 new programs on.
Gotcha.
Given
So
our
that gets the kibosh.
Our current funding sources.
Gotcha.
We just wouldn't be able to bring those programs forward. And we know there's a huge shortage in physical therapy assistants in New Mexico, and that includes Southeast New Mexico. And then we also know there's a shortage in the diesel mechanics. One of our representatives called me this past May. A friend of his had a son who graduated from high school, and he was wondering about a diesel mechanics program. And I said, well, we don't have one currently. Let me do some calling.
Gotcha.
That young man ended up in Albuquerque. And the reason was Carlsbad doesn't have one, Hobbs doesn't have one. And I've talked to the president in Carlsbad at New Mexico Southeast New Mexico College, and he's in the process of adding some tech programs with the GEO bond that they got passed this past year, but they're not going to be including diesel mechanics.
So there's still that void,
yes,
even with what they're doing. So this is what we're talking about, here, and I would argue, even if you necessarily don't have someone that's going through or will be going through the program, if you're living here, that impacts you. Guess what? You're getting older. If you're not already needing more health care now, you're going to be. And it's sure nice when you can do it in town instead of having to go 3 hours in some given direction because there's not enough medical support here or that. Same thing with the trucking. I would imagine, we talk about, the demand on mechanics and things and CDL mechanics in this part of the country. I mean, nothing moves around here without a CDL license putting it there, whether it's oil field or farm and ranch stuff to just, it's the demand is huge. And so the fact that we don't have a facility in this part of the country that can churn out mechanics for that I'm sure there's companies, dozens of them throughout the Pecos Valley that would probably hire every single one of your graduates right out the gate with this program in place. And so this is all investment in our future. If you're wanting to see growth, if you're wanting to see more business come, if you're wanting to have the ability to have qualified medical personnel doing medical procedures in town with you, as opposed to you going to Lubbock or Albuquerque or El Paso or Lord knows where to get this stuff done. And by the way, the older you get, the harder it is to do that stuff. And so think of voting on this mill levy as a vote in that future, in saying, it sure would be nice to have these things right here in Roswell. Well, you got to train the people. You got to provide the platform to bring the people to do that. And this is how you do that, by supporting things like this mill levy. So,
and another part to it that I always want to mention is we do want to increase our dual credit opportunities in career and technical education. All 4 of the superintendents from the schools in Chavez County came to campus this past summer. They toured. I visited their campuses earlier this fall. They're supportive of the mill levy efforts because we want to reach out and we want to provide more opportunities, especially Dexter, like Arthur and Hagerman, not that we want to ignore Roswell and Goddard High. We want to include everyone, but it's those students in the Valley schools that just don't have the same type of opportunities.
Sure.
And it's an economy of scale.
Absolutely.
There's more students at Roswell High than there are at all three of those schools.
The people are here. That's just, it's just like the state of New Mexico. Why does Albuquerque get all the stuff? Because that's where all the people are.
So
same thing.
My hope is the mill levy will pass, and then we'll be able to reach out to those students at Dexter, Lake Arthur, and Hagerman and be able to offer them more career technical opportunities with their school and develop more pathways. And hopefully that would also have a positive impact on their graduation rates.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's really investment in everything. If you're wanting, and I that's why I like to throw the look, even if you don't have kids in the thing, you think you don't have a dog in your fight, you very much do. If you live here and call this place home, you have a say on some of this stuff. And really, these are the things you're going to cement positive growth for the future. And if you're wanting the nice things, if you're wanting the amenities, and to be honest, all the other stuff falls in line with this too. As growth happens, then more amenities. You want more parks. You want more of these. You got to invest into the infrastructure. And really, this mill levy is investing into the academic infrastructure of this area. And that's what it's about.
Well, and again, for us, it's about meeting student and community needs, and that's why we're looking at the PTA and the diesel mechanics program. One of the questions people ask me is, what is it going to cost in taxes? And so the net taxable increase per $100,000 of home value, if your home is $100,000, and I realize other homes go up much higher than that,
sure.
But if we just use that as a basis, it's $33 a year. And so if you have a $300,000 home, it's going to be about $100 a year in increased taxes. But we would be able to use that funding, again, to meet the community needs for the current time and for the future. The PTA program will take a little while to stand up. We'll start efforts, like I said, if this mill levy passes, we'll start efforts on that on Wednesday. But the diesel mechanics program, we're very optimistic that if the mill levy passes, we could stand that up as a certificate program as early as the fall of 26.
So this could get up pretty quick if we get the green light here tomorrow.
We have the space for both the programs on campus currently, so we wouldn't have to add a new building. We have that space. And then the other piece to it is, we want to, again, meet community needs. And so just going back, one of the things that our aviation maintenance students are working on, and they've started this project along with Air Sail and some other volunteers out at the Air Center. The Chavez County Veterans Association bought a Huey helicopter, and it's in our auto bay, one of our empty auto bays right now, or what was empty. It's got a Huey helicopter in there that's being retrofitted, and the idea is to make it display worthy, and they're going to want to put it up on a stand about 15, 20 feet in the air at the Veterans Cemetery here locally.
Cool.
And so our students are involved with that. And again, we haven't talked about aviation maintenance today too much, but that's another field that we have, and it's one of the few in the state. We have people from Clovis and Santa Teresa airports coming to us. We have a company that works out at Holloman Air Force Base that wants to expand their opportunities to get people to have an A&P mechanics license. And so we're seeing expansion of those programs, and we want to add on, as you know, to that AMT building. And that's one of the things that our recent mill levy election, and I appreciate the support from the community and the county to get that passed this last go around back in November of last year. We really are looking forward to expanding that space. We've got the architect selected, and probably in 2 years or so, we'll have that whole thing done. It'll take about a year of planning and then about a year of construction. Other construction that's going on, we have local contractors working on our sidewalk renovation. They're doing a fire installation system for sprinklers that's going on in 3 buildings, and then also a nurse expansion program. So we've got several construction projects ongoing, again, all designed around being able to increase our ability to offer more classes to students, more opportunities for safety and security of the campus.
Absolutely. Well, and it's a unique property at the end of the day, because it's had several evolutions over time here. I mean, yes, back in the day it was a military base and a lot of that, and now it is a college that is constantly evolving. and the technology's evolved over the years and things, and so it's been this great evolution process, and yeah, it's taken a lot of time, but that's that continuation of that. It has evolved from an old military base to this place of higher learning, and what I really dig about this is because of that aviation, like the A&P side. I'm telling you, with more careers, like not only you can get your A&P license, but you could probably get a job right here in Roswell, making very good money. And if you choose to stay here, now if you want to spread your wings and go see the world, then you can take that with you too. But you could legitimately, and this is why we talk about this mill levy, and it's like it's investment back in. You want better quality of life here? This is how, because you're by offering better and more training opportunities, which also translates to better high-paying jobs here in our community, which translates to more money coming in, which translates to more amenities, which translates to a nicer community. And I know that's I'm trying to connect a lot of dots for you here, but that's really what you're voting for when you vote for this mill levy, is because the moment we're not investing in our education and our future is the moment we're going to take a backseat somewhere. You've got to constantly be feeding that. And as it evolves and changes, are you going to get left behind? And next thing you know, the tumbleweeds and the dust bowls. You know what I mean? That's what happens. So you've got to invest in that. So say it now, because if you're going to pay for it one way or another. That's the way I look at it. Either pay for it now, where it's not going to hurt so much, or down the road when it's going to be much more painful to fix. So That's the way I see it.
Well, thanks. And I know our time is running out here. I wanted to just recap a few things. So registration is open. Get out there and do that now.
Be part of the first 89 that signed up so far this morning.
Registration is open.
The first 24 hours in.
And appreciate all your support for the mill levy. That election is tomorrow.
Yes.
Please go and vote and give consideration to this mill levy. Again, we thank the E&M Roswell Foundation for their support of this campaign, and we're hopeful that the citizens in Chavez County will see fit to grant us this second mill levy so we can add our additional programming on to meet student and community needs. Veterans Day, November 11th, and then the Career Fair, the 19th. And then one other thing we haven't talked about, the Turkey Trot.
The Turkey Trot.
We're going to have a Turkey Trot the Saturday before Thanksgiving. This is a 5K fun run and walk.
Cost is non-perishable food.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Or dog food or cat food.
Dog food, yes, too.
And that goes to the Roswell Humane Society. So, again, appreciate all the support. And if anybody has any questions, please reach out, and we'll be glad to answer them and register for classes early.
Yeah, please, even if you don't want to run but want to support, donate food, because all the food goes to the pantry. And like you said, the dog and cat supplies will go to the Humane Society here. So, but this is a major fundraiser for the pantries there at the college, and this will provide assistance for folks throughout the semester here. So even if you're like, well, I'm not a runner, but if you want to come and run, and please do all that. And it's a fun run.
It's a fun run.
So you can push the envelope, or you can goof around with your buddies while you're running around out at the campus, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Last year I was running along with one of our Air Force. I guess a person who'd previously been in the Air Force is the best way I can describe the situation. And we were running along, and this runner stopped and didn't really actually stop. It slowed down. I said, "No, you got to finish." And we were a quarter mile from the race. I never saw her again. So I got left in the dirt. So I don't know. Her dust was all over the place. But no, we have a good time at the run.
Absolutely.
And it's there at the Air Center, and we appreciate the city's support of
How many years have you been doing this now?
This will be the 6th.
6 years. I think it was about 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun, and of course it does support the campus here in the pantry, and it's just a great opportunity to come and run, and I can't guarantee if it's going to be warm or cold. It's that time of year. It's a crapshoot. So
we've had good days and we've had colder days.
I'm going to lean towards cold, but you never know. I'm going to say it's going to be freezing. It'll be 75 that morning. So. I guarantee nothing.
Appreciate all the support for our campus and your support of the mill levy and the efforts that you've taken to help us get the word out about this.
Anytime, and anything else we can do, and if not, we'll see you here in a couple weeks for our next session here in all.
Okay.
Too. So good deal. Thank you, sir. And
thank you.
Don't work too hard.
All right.
And I'm sure you got a few more visits as this is the last minute push. So hitting the bricks, getting it all turned out.
That's it. All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is 8:53. Let us pause for news, your Chaves County sports update, your Red Apple market report, quick break as well. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. An active emergency alert was issued Friday at the HF Sinclair Navajo refinery. Artesia police initially responded to reports of an explosion and thick smoke that was emitting from the plant and drifting over parts of the city. A shelter indoors advisory was also issued for the city of Artesia. By 1 in the afternoon, the emergency was lifted after a fire was apparently extinguished. A spokesperson for the refinery did indicate that 3 refinery workers were injured and taken to a hospital for treatment. Their updated conditions are not known. The spokesperson also did not have information about what could have caused the blast and fire. Eddy County announces that Tiana Romero has been selected as the new executive administrative assistant to County Manager Mike Gallagher. The appointment marks an internal promotion for Romero, who has grown within Eddy County over the past 5 years, spending the last 4 years serving in the county manager's administration department. A statement from the county says Romero has built a reputation for her strong work ethic, professionalism, and commitment to serving the county with integrity. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. The Wool Bowl Showdown went to the Roswell Coyotes on Friday night. Final game of the regular season, Roswell beats rival Goddard 35-21. And the playoff brackets were announced over the weekend. Roswell gets the second seed, so they get a bye past the first round. They'll play the winner of Belen against Valley. Meanwhile, Goddard will be in action Friday night hosting Deming. That's Saturday, at 1 o'clock. Goddard's the 8th seed. Deming with a 1-9 record, the 12th seed. But remember, Goddard only beat them by 1 touchdown earlier in October. Dexter is the 2 seed in Class 3A after a 50-0 walloping of Socorro. They'll play the winner of West Las Vegas, Ruidoso. NMMI, the 5th seed, they'll host number 12 Wingate. And in 8-man playoffs, it was Gateway beating Hagerman 50-0. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today, 80 to 85 on the afternoon high, and with high pressure overhead, we'll be getting sunshine through the day. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll warm up a little bit on Tuesday, low to mid 80s, maybe a little bit warmer than that around the Carlsbad area. And then on Wednesday, we're expecting mid 80s across the entire area, sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning. We'll see if earnings reports keep rising this week to extend the resilient stock market rally. Stock averages rose for the 3rd week in a row and for the month of October. The Dow and NASDAQ have now had their longest strings of consecutive monthly gains since 2018. Gold prices declined as Wall Street rallied. Markets are still trading near all-time highs. Sentiment has been lifted by strong corporate earnings. High market expectations mean that disappointing results could bring new volatility. In other financial news, open enrollment season for health insurance coverage begins this week in most states. Millions who have health insurance under the Affordable Care Act may get huge sticker shocks on their rates because of the deadlock on subsidies in Congress. Going into the weekend, President Trump did tell Congress, end this shutdown. Bank of America thinks the effect of tariffs will start to be felt more as the holiday shopping season starts, after many businesses had absorbed the costs. Exxon and Chevron's profits fell, but both said they will continue to increase production. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com. 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 Take control
Support career and technical education programs for Chavez County. Support the ENMU Roswell Mill Levy. Supporting this mill levy would increase funding for career and technical education programs to prepare students for in-demand jobs in our area, strengthening the local economy and meeting community needs for healthcare professions and skilled laborers. Dual credit students from local high schools will benefit from expanded program options. Increase career and technical education in Chavez County. Support the ENMU Roswell Mill Levy on November 4th. Early voting begins October 7th. Paid for by the ENMU Roswell Foundation.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead. Join us in Artesia, New Mexico for the 42nd annual Balloons and Tunes Festival, November 7th through the 9th. Friday kicks off with fun flights from local schools. Then Saturday and Sunday mornings, watch the skies fill with color as hot air balloons launch at dawn from Eagle Draw Park. Stick around for inflatable costume races, bounce houses, and even remote control balloons. Food and coffee trucks will keep you fueled for the fun. Saturday night, 5th and Texas comes alive at the Artesia Arts Council's Balloons, Bands, and Brews. With food trucks, local New Mexico brews, live music, and the Artesia High School Marching Band performing alongside balloon pilots in a fiery concert you won't forget. Admission is free, with only $10 entry into the beer garden. Plan your weekend getaway to Artesia, November 7th through the 9th for the Balloons and Tunes Festival. For more information, give us a call at 575-746-2744 or visit artesiachamber.com. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
You're going to need me.
You're going to need us.
All of us.
You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring.
Support us at 4h.org.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. Artist Greg Birch and author Cindy Sloan Butts will join us next hour. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump describes what's taking place in Nigeria as a mass slaughter, adding that he's not going to put up with it.
They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria, and they have other countries very bad also. You know that part of the world very bad. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow that to happen.
The president says he's ordered the Pentagon to start planning for potential military action in Nigeria. He also warns that he will immediately stop all aid and assistance to the West African country. Trump administration says any new nuclear weapons tests will be explosion-free.
Energy Secretary Chris Wright clarified President Trump's recent order for the U.S. to start testing nuclear weapons for the first time in 3 decades. He told Fox News the tests will be system tests, not nuclear explosions. Wright's comments came after the president was coy late last week on whether he was actually ordering the resumption of explosive testing of nuclear weapons. Greg Clugston, Washington.
New York City's mayoral candidates making a final push to get voters to the polls as the race to lead America's biggest city nears its finale. Election Day is tomorrow, with Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani, Independent Andrew Cuomo, and Republican Curtis Sliwa stumping right down to the wire. A couple of closely watched governor's races to be decided tomorrow. One's in New Jersey, the other one in Virginia. According to the polls, those contests are quite close. Insisting he's not going to be extorted by the Democrats, President Trump says he will only negotiate to extend health care subsidies once the government has been reopened. Today, day 34 of the government shutdown. Wall Street, the Dow down 224 points. NASDAQ is up 93. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
It's a first for the White House as a Syrian leader will come calling.
President Trump will host Ahmad al-Shara for talks, a first-ever visit by a Syrian president to the White House. The meeting is expected to take place November 10th. The president met with al-Shara in Saudi Arabia in May in what was the first encounter between the two nations' leaders in 25 years, and one that could serve as a turning point for Syria as it struggles to emerge from decades of international isolation. Ron Taylor reporting.
Riot police in Belgrade have had to separate opponents and backers of Serbia's President Alexander Vučić as political tensions rise after a year of anti-government demonstrations around the country. Thousands faced off on both sides of police barriers, tossing bottles and flares. Tensions soared after a big rally over the weekend marked the anniversary of a train station disaster that left 16 people dead. News and analysis, townhall.com. The closest supermoon of the year. It's just around the corner.
It happens when a full moon is closer to the Earth in its orbit, making it appear slightly bigger and brighter. Wednesday's event is the second of 3 supermoons this year and also the closest. The moon will come within just 222,000 miles of Earth. The change in the moon's size can be tough to discern with the naked eye. Supermoons happen a few times a year. A supermoon in October made the moon look somewhat larger. The last supermoon of the year will rise in December. Keith Peters, Washington.
Warren Buffett's company's profits improved by 17% thanks to a relatively mild hurricane season and more paper investment gains this year. As Berkshire Hathaway continues to get ready for the legendary 95-year-old investor to relinquish the CEO title, that in January. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of the world down his shoulder. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm breathing through it. The echo gets on the cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelers said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Yes, welcome to it. Kickstart of the first official full week of the time change post daylight saving.
Yeah. Last week we were in October. Now we're in November.
And according to a new poll, 54% of those surveyed want daylight saving gone for good.
I agree.
Yes. Now that we're done with it, let's make that last one the last one.
To be honest, I don't care which one it is. Just pick one and stick.
Pick one and stick with it. Exactly. Yeah. I'm tired of. Now, in fairness, it's gotten easier with things setting themselves back.
Yeah.
It is just a hassle that, all of the wall clocks have to be set back. The stove is just, let's face it, the stove is just going to be wrong for half the year. Unless they make this a permanent one, then I'll eventually change it, I guess.
Well, yeah, the ones in, actually my vehicle did it on its own.
Did it really?
I got in this morning. Yeah, I didn't drive my Jeep yesterday. We went
Wow.
out and took Tim's car. So yeah, we didn't. And it was at the appropriate time this morning when
all be dipped.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I had to do mine manually. Then again, I also have to roll my windows down manually, so
That's true. Now I have a thing that does it.
You got the auto windows?
Oh, I got auto windows. I got heated seats. I got camera. I got.
So your old Jeep didn't have the backup camera? I thought that. Really?
Nope, it did not.
Wow, I thought that it did for sure.
No, this one's got. It's got that smart cruise control.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all. It doesn't have the drive assist per se.
I watched a video that it made me chuckle pretty ferociously. I guess a woman had gotten out of her car because her car had that park assist where it'll
Kim's car has that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but the car attempted to parallel park.
Yeah.
A couple of times. And then the car itself decided it couldn't and just pulled out and started driving down the road.
Just left.
Just left. It's like, well, this isn't going to work. So the woman's just like chasing after her car.
No, take me home too.
That feels like, I mean, at what point does the robot inside your car just be like, we're not going to make this parking spot?
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of like, that reminds me of like the old joke where the family's driving to Disney World and they get all the way down there and they see the sign that says Disney World left, so they turn around and went home. Yeah.
Of course, with my car, there was a classic Mentos commercial in the 90s. Yep.
Mentos.
So one of the ones that I remember was the woman couldn't parallel park her car.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy pops a Mentos, and he and 3 of his burly friends go and lift the car up and move it into the spot.
Okay.
I'm like, you could fully do that with my car.
Yeah.
I feel like you and 3 of your strong friends could probably just, get my car up and move it into position.
Why don't they just make a candy that makes me better at parking rather than give me super strength to move a car?
Now, when she does the park assist, she doesn't have to get out of the car to do it, right?
Well, and I don't think hers is... Like, I don't know if it parallel parks.
Mm-hmm.
I think hers is the type, like, if you've got people and then they put your car in a tight parking space,
Mm-hmm.
you can, like, let the people out and then let the car drive itself into the tight space.
And
then
that's
back
fine.
It out. Yeah, until the people next to you need to get in their car.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's yeah.
At that point, you're trading paint.
Please ding my car. That's what that
Mm-hmm.
tells me.
Or, how do I get out of this sunroof?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, but I'm guessing that is like a city folk problem. Like if you use valet parking, maybe that's what that's handy for.
Right. Or I will say like the trucks that I see now, like the newer trucks that have the mirrors that automatically come in.
Yeah.
When you shut the car
'cause
off.
some of these mirrors come so wide out. It looks like Dumbo driving around out there. And you're like, what's going on with these ears? But yeah.
We appreciate the fold in. But yeah, no, my car doesn't do any of those things.
No.
But
although your car would be a good candidate for the Jetsons, where it folds into a briefcase, like Mr. Jetsons.
Although I did over the weekend see a vehicle that's kind of similar to my vehicle, but it's a truck.
Really?
Yeah, it's like my subcompact, but with a truck bed attached to it. It's pretty cool, and it's American made too.
American.
Starts as low as $40,000. I might actually, if I am going to trade up, I might trade up to a subcompact truck.
All right.
Just so I can help my tiny friends move.
No, the friends are normal size. They just own tiny things.
Yeah, they just own very small appliances. It's fine. I can move a grand piano piece at a time.
Well, see, you ought to keep the theme going. Literally buy a tiny house with your tiny car and your tiny house, and you just have tiny things.
Just small things.
Yes. Like you got a little patio with like Temu grill and Temu couch and Temu.
I ain't paying Temu prices, not with the tariffs the way they are now.
But everything's to size on Temu.
Right.
Like, look at this couch. It's great for my 2-year-old.
It is true. It does things do tend to be a lot smaller. I actually remember this is probably maybe a year and a half ago. Jocelyn ordered a blanket from Temu.
Yeah.
And it was like a handkerchief.
Right.
She took it out and she's like, this isn't a blanket. It was a good sized handkerchief, don't get me wrong.
I could blow 6 noses. Here, would you like to blow your nose? I've got space right here.
Just check sizes when you order things from Temu and know that they also use centimeters, okay?
Yeah.
They tend to use the metric system.
Yeah, I always see advertisements for like, buy this tent from Timo. I'm like, can you put a person in it? Or is it like those tents, like when you used to go to the tent store and they had mini versions of the tents that are like the beds, like they have a mini version of the bed.
Like if you go to Walmart now, they have the cribs, but it's only like this big.
Yeah.
I always make the joke. I'm like, that's not very convenient for the baby. But they actually, I will say this, some of the, and this seems silly to say, but some of the higher end Temu items, which, they get up there around, $9-10.
Temu Plus.
No, but like for, a couple $100, they have these fully inflatable, like 4-person house sized tents. They get pretty intense.
Like full real people?
Like real people. Like from what I've seen, once you get up to actually spending real money, they actually have real products.
All right.
The stuff that's cheap is the stuff that,
comes to America.
Smaller hands have made. We'll just leave it that way.
All right. Well, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is me don't buy it.
Yeah, no, I've actually veered away from my Temu days.
You fall off the Temu wagon?
Yeah, I've moved up into the upper echelon of cheap Amazon.
I'm on Prime Days. That's right. I got a Prime Day problem now. Yeah, matter of fact, I got to look for luggage. So I need to do that.
You looking on to go online to find them, or
I just need to get new luggage.
Yeah.
And my wife is telling me I should start looking. So
I did recently get new luggage, whole new backpack.
Of course, is that a sign? Why is my wife telling me to get luggage?
I mean,
am I going someplace?
All right.
Actually, yes, we were doing a trip.
Pack your bags, son.
We got a trip planned next summer, so kind of upgrade there. So I guess I ought to get the hour going.
I probably should.
It's already quarter after.
Mm-hmm.
Probably reckon I ought to do that. Artist Greg Birch going to join us. Been a minute since he's joined us in studio, so he'll join us. And then on the phone, we'll have author Cindy Sloan Butts join us, and we'll get an update. Her and her latest book, and of course, Greg and her have collaborated on many pieces here, and a lot of the cover art for many of Cindy's books. Greg might know the guy that does it. So we'll talk about that, their latest, and then, of course, some of the projects Greg has on his own going on, too. So we'll do all that this hour. Before we do that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather. Actually, it's going to be warm and then a little cooler later in the week, but not bad.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment, hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today, 80 to 85 on the afternoon high, and with high pressure overhead, we'll be getting sunshine through the day. Low 40s and clear for the overnight hours. We'll warm up a little bit on Tuesday, low to mid 80s, maybe a little bit warmer than that around the Carlsbad area. And then on Wednesday, we're expecting mid 80s across the entire area, sunshine. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me get to my weather. Is it fresh? No, it's not. Let me refresh. Talk amongst yourselves. There it goes. 58 currently here in Roswell. Humidity is at 32%. Winds are still not working, apparently, at the airport. It says NA. Not that we don't have wind, it just says NA. So somebody broke the wind meter. Today, sunny and a high of 79. Winds will be out of the east at around 5 miles per hour. Skies tonight will be clear with an overnight low of 42. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tuesday, we're in the low 80s, 83 for a high tomorrow with winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear, overnight low of 45. West winds at around 5 miles per hour. Mid 80s for Wednesday, sunny and 85. Winds out of the northwest at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and 84. Cooler on Friday, sunny and 74. But back up for highs near 80 on Saturday. And then Sunday, cooling down to 69 degrees. So I'm guessing we'll have some wind on Saturday, maybe Thursday. They have not disclosed that yet, but I'm not a math wizard. But when you go about 10, 15 degree temp drops, usually Roswell's off this week. Goddard will play Saturday at 1 o'clock. So, and that'll be at the Wool Bowl. So, you might might need, although it'll be 80 on Saturday, so I think you'll be good with T-shirts and sweatpants or something on Saturday. So, or wear a dress, whatever you do. Sundress. Wear a sundress. One of a last opportunity. Get your sundress in for the summer here. So, all right. Let me get back to my other screen here. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And then Greg Birch will join us here in studio, and we'll have also Cindy join us on the phone here as well. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
All right, Mr. Gobbles, it's that time of year again. Got any last requests? What? You want a smoking deal on a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle? Mucho dinero for your trade? And your credit pardoned? Well, you're going to have to go to Roswell Ford. Hey, Roswell Ford is talking real turkey. With our most aggressive offers in more than 5 years. Right now, get massive savings on new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles with 0% financing and no payments till February 2026. Plus, if you're making payments on your current vehicle and want out early, Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to help you escape from your trade. Even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried that your credit is a little foul? Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders who will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. All roads lead to huge American-made savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com.
0 APR for 48 months is $28.83 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from later sale. Subject to lender approval on select vehicles. Offers not combined.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
There's nothing more magical than 80,000 cubic feet of hot air flying overhead. Join us in Artesia, New Mexico for the 42nd Annual Balloons and Tunes Festival, November 7th through the 9th. Friday kicks off with fun flights from local schools. Then Saturday and Sunday mornings, watch the skies fill with color as hot air balloons launch at dawn from Eagle Draw Park. Stick around for inflatable costume races, bounce houses, and even remote control balloons. Food and coffee trucks will keep you fueled for the fun. Saturday night, 5th and Texas comes alive at the Artesia Arts Council's Balloons, Bands, and Brews. With food trucks, local New Mexico brews, live music, and the Artesia High School Marching Band performing alongside balloon pilots in a fiery concert you won't forget. Admission is free, with only $10 entry into the beer garden. Plan your weekend getaway to Artesia, November 7th through the 9th for the Balloons and Tunes Festival. For more information, give us a call at 575-746-2744 or visit artesiachamber.com. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 6,000 fellow Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success. That's what we're about.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, artist Greg Birch back with us. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, sir.
And joining us on the phone, author Cindy Sloan Butts back with us. Good morning, Cindy. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you both for coming on. It's good hearing from both again. It's been a minute since we talked to you, but sounds like both of you have been keeping busy in your collective little ponds, doing your work and doing your art, doing your writing, and back ready to unveil new stuff to the world again, huh?
To be sure.
Yeah, to be sure. So
I one, and I'm working on the next one.
Okay, yeah, you probably already have. There's always several irons in the fire, even when you're pulling one out. There's 3 more in there, isn't it? Well, go ahead. What were you saying there? Lost you.
I'm sorry. I have to keep Greg busy, and if I don't write then I can't commission covers for them. And what good would that do?
That's right. Yeah, because an idle Greg is a bad Greg. We need to keep him busy. So,
right.
So before we talk a little bit about the book, the short story book that we got here that we're going to be talking about, just kind of give us an update on what you've been up to.
Well, I retired from teaching in September.
Okay.
And it was kind of one of those ambivalent things. I'm happy to be retired and not have to get up at dark 30 and, see what the day is going to bring. Although I can't even describe how much I miss my kids.
Yeah.
It's a giant hole in my soul. And every time my husband and I go to a restaurant here in Rio Rancho, I'm always looking at the kids in the restaurant to see if I recognize them or if they recognize me.
Yeah, as a husband of a teacher myself, and I'm the one on the radio, but if we go to like Walmart or anything like that, she's the one who's the rock star. Everyone's coming up to her, and I could just go about my business. So I know the teacher, just you see your kids and hope to see them all. Yeah, I know that game very well.
If you're doing a good job.
Yes, that's true. That's right. If they want to say hi to you, they must like you, right? Think highly of you.
Exactly. If you were the teacher that nobody wants to remember, then nobody will.
That's true. That's true. So now that you're not having to get up early and stuff, is that devoting more time to the writing and things, or do you kind of use this time to explore other opportunities?
No, I'm a writer as much as I am an educator.
Gotcha.
And if you understand the rationale by which I write, which is really the title of my book, to imagine and inspire, my goal is to teach and inform, and even more than that, to motivate others to write.
Gotcha. So, and kind of segue, since we kind of talked about the latest book, which, by the way, Greg, once again, is the guy that's drawn your eye to the book on the shelf here. But the latest book is called To Imagine and Inspire, a Short Story Anthology. So this is you being a storyteller, but also teaching others how to be a storyteller. Is that a fair assessment?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. In writing historical fiction, which I've certainly done quite a bit of with 7 Holocaust and World War II books, I very seldom had an opportunity to do what I call stretch my creative legs. And short story writing is all creativity.
Sure. So
I had fun with that.
So are these short stories, were these written specifically for this book, or are these just a collection of stories you've written over the years and said, I need to put these together? How did this come together?
They were all written for this book.
Okay, so this was specifically said these are stories that I want to include in this book, or because I know as a writer you probably have all ideas and you're like, I wrote this story and I started it and didn't flesh it out. And I'm just gonna, just a collection of projects over the years. I started and didn't get to complete the way I did. I didn't, because it could go either way. I just wondered. So
exactly, but in this particular case, I set out to write an anthology of short stories. However, what's really amusing about it was that my initial objective was to write 25 short stories in this anthology, right?
Gotcha.
So what did I came up with about 35 ideas for the short stories, which means that I either need to trash the notebook that I used or write another book.
Sure.
So I have to keep Greg in upscale clothing, so, there's no question about.
Yeah, Greg is definitely yes, he's a man who needs to have his good threads. So, but
wow.
Well, and for you, Greg, since we'll quit having fun with you here, Greg. But when Cindy comes up to you and says, "All right, here's my idea," is that how it goes, or do you say? I mean, like, do you have to read the stories to get inspired to do the art, or does she give you a direction? I'm just kind of curious how you say, "Okay, I'm going to put what you're explaining in words into the most compact visual I can on the cover of your book here. How did that come to be?
She'll just give me a synopsis, and then from that synopsis, I'll basically just say, okay, I'll pick out particular words that seem like they're the most meaning to her.
Gotcha.
And then as I'm doing it, man, and if you show the people the cover of that book.
Here's the cover of the book here for those watching on
that's all hand-drawn. And then I just changed it up. The color, took it into Photoshop and changed up the color as far as the computer chip.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because it's kind of, this, like, to be honest, I look at the cover and I'm like, okay, I see, I'm thinking you see an elephant, you see, like, the AI robot, and you're like, this is a combination of worlds.
The invention of the wheel.
Yeah, it's really cool. Just so Cindy, these stories that are within are really kind of, I guess, anecdotes about our own civilization and society and things, and just kind of, you look at the big picture and what's going on, but here's some anecdotes that were just part of the big picture kind of stuff. Is that a good description?
Well, the social commentary is how I would phrase that. In fact, just for giggles, just to tantalize people into reading the book, the reason that the elephant is on the cover, and Craig is so incredibly brilliant at converting thoughts into images, is that I have come up. I'm a long life, all my life musician, and I started singing when I was, God knows, in high school, college, thereafter, and joined a chorus when I moved to Denver.
Okay.
Did that for years, and in between time, I bought a guitar and dabbled with it and so on. However, as much as I consider myself a writer, I'm a musician. And the magic elephant, which is the first story in the book, has to do with my feelings about music. That music is something that I will never learn enough of. It's the elephant in the room.
I gotcha.
You see.
Okay.
And I never know enough about music, and I have a brilliant guitar teacher who tells me the difference between sonatas and symphonies and major and minor chords. And so as much as I take a bite out of this elephant, it keeps regrowing.
Yeah. Well, I guess you just have to use the old saying that they tell us, well, one bite at a time, I guess, right?
Exactly.
That's neat.
They're simple in nature, largely autobiographical, but also commentaries about the world. And I know we don't have the time or the interest to go into any details about the rest of them, but Greg, have you had a chance to read any of the books?
Yes, I've read them all.
Oh, okay.
You read all the stories?
Yes.
This book.
Oh, in this one here? No, I haven't read them all in this one.
Okay.
Not in this one.
Gotcha.
I thought you meant the previous ones.
The previous books he's caught up on, but this one you still got. So you got some bathroom reading, my friend.
Yeah.
As do I.
This is not a test.
I'm sorry. I apologize, and I know it's not polite, but I get my best reading done there at the bathroom. I'm least disturbed, and I get to quiet. It's just a great place to read.
Wow, dude. TMI.
I'm sorry. I'm a productive guy in that remark.
My writing is most suitable for bathroom reading, but we'll just let it go.
That's what I say. No, right? I'm just kidding. Sorry. But now, as far as getting a copy of this book is probably for folks here in Roswell, the best place through Amazon or your website. What's probably because I know like if you're in Albuquerque area, you could probably get it in a few bookstores and things. But as far as being downtown here, what's probably the best way to get a hold of this book?
Amazon.
Very good. When in doubt, Amazon got you covered. And to be honest,
2 days that way, huh?
And I was going to say, while you're there, just go to Amazon, type in Cindy Sloan Butts. CINDYSLOAN, Butts with two T's, BUTTS. And you can see all of Cindy's books, and you can get a dive on this latest one, or, if you want, start from the beginning and work your way to this one, whatever you want to do. But you have a very eclectic mix of books on various points of history and things, some real, especially when we get into some of the World War II concentration camps type stuff, and there's some real insightful books on some of that information. And so your topics are varied, much like, so if you have multiple interests, there's bound to be one or two books that Cindy's written that probably will fall right in your alley or your peak of curiosities and things like that. So use this as an entryway into the rest of it. So
just as an aside, for those who are looking for something that doesn't fall into any category at all, because I have 6 murder mysteries, 7 Holocaust books, and 1 poetry anthology, that the one book that I would give credit to is the book that I didn't suggest to Greg that he bring it with you, but I know we haven't talked about it, is the Can We Talk book, and It's on the Amazon site.
Okay.
And Greg did his usual brilliant job of the cover, but this one doesn't fall into any category at all if you're looking for something totally unusual, and it's effectively a collection of conversations that never took place, but that I would like to have had with my mother and my father and various figures throughout history, including Steven Spielberg, who is still alive, thank God, and Abe Lincoln and Beethoven. So it's a really unusual book of conversations that I hope are educational, if nothing else.
Nice. Well, shoot. Spielberg, maybe that one you can send a copy, say, hey, you want to make this happen? Lincoln will be a little harder. But,
hey, I'm pressing her to get up there to, and hopefully we can make it happen.
That would be cool.
To the New York Times bestseller.
That would be great. That would be good. So, but again, get on Amazon, type in Cindy Sloan Butts, and the latest book here is called To Imagine and Inspire, a Short Story Anthology. But there's a whole slew of genres from, like you said, mysteries to history to don't have a category. It's just in the vein of Monty Python, and now for something completely different. That kind of.
Exactly right.
Very good. So, so let's shift gears to Greg here. I know, Cindy keeps you busy, but you do have other projects and things that you're always. Again, another guy with a lot of irons in a fire, just a different fire. That's all.
You know me, man. I mean, one of the big ones in my immediate family, like my sisters, brother-in-law, and my mom. I've kept it kind of quiet. But I had been working with Tom Brooks Foot, for several months.
Okay.
To do George Strait's painting.
Okay.
And then he passed away.
Yeah.
He came in and then he was just sick and he passed away during the night. And so then it went to like 6 different tour managers of George Strait. So I was getting bumped around back and forth, go to this person, go to that person. And nobody really could tell the head or the tail from the dog.
Sure.
So, now I finally got it down to one person. And, of course, this is the 16th final tour for George Strait. You know how he is. I'm gone, and then he comes back.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to plan. And probably about mid next year, at one of his tours, I'll submit the painting over to him.
Okay.
And of course, Willie Nelson's family, they accepted a painting that I'm going to do for him.
Awesome.
And that one's pretty cool too, because it's got Willie Nelson, but he's inside the guitar.
Okay.
Kind of shadowed. Because that guitar, he called it silver and everything like that. But anyway, there's a long story on that.
I got to be honest. To me, in my head, Willie Nelson is timeless. Like,
dude, he ain't never gonna die.
Oh, that's just it. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands when we lose Willie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I can't imagine a life without Willie Nelson in it. It's just going to be weird. Now, that being said, I don't think, him and Keith Richards, they're never leaving the earth. But, but I gotta admit, I'm like, what's going to be like when they're gone? You know?
Do what?
Sorry, Cindy, go ahead.
Hopefully Keith Richards before Willie Nelson.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't
Keith,
put him in the same category.
Well, I'm just saying Keith just tried, and he just seems to be like pickled or something. I don't know about him. You know, he's fallen from coconut trees and everything else, and
still made it.
Yeah,
you know.
I'll give you Mick Jagger, but not Keith Richards.
Yeah, I'm not quality wise. I'll take yes. I'm a Willie guy, but I mean, I'm just he's like Keith Richards is like that penny that you can't get rid of. He just like, I thought it was, and here's Keith, just backer, stronger than ever. So yeah, he's just, but Willie's just seems to be. But anyway, sorry, I got way sidetracked.
Next year, I got I'm waiting for the results on this new magazine that I had posted on that I had got submitted into, and now we'll get the final results here pretty soon, and that I can post on Facebook, who got cover, and different things like that. Okay. And that was something that you had to be invited to, and most of these showings and things like that, you have to be invited to.
Yeah, it's exclusive invites and
But that's the category that I set for myself.
Sure.
And
you're trying to penetrate into those echelons and getting into those circles and making those connections.
And there again, I'm not trying to say that my art's better than this and that. It's just the kind of like the genres of music, what you choose.
You can't get into the Louvre unless you bring it there, right?
Exactly, and that's what I'm shooting for. Yeah. I want to be hanging in the Louvre. That's my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I submitted 15 paintings to the I lost the name of it now. The one in New York City. If the name comes to me, I'll tell you who it is.
I could throw out names, but I don't want to do that game.
Anyway, so, it's the auction of auctions, because it's kind of like the Pebble Beach.
Okay.
With the car show.
Okay.
And I mean, it's the high end of the high end of the high end.
People with money and people with connections and people with eyeballs, or
it's Chelsea's
attachments. Yeah.
The Chelsea's auction.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I submitted 15 paintings to them. So I'm waiting to hear back on that deal, because it's a big thing. Because the majority of their paintings are, I mean, you're talking about from the 1700s. And I mean, it can even go further than that back. So we'll see if any of them get accepted.
Sure.
And like I said, it is a big deal.
Absolutely. I know one of your points of favorite things you love to do is the kind of recreating history with your paintings and stuff.
Yes,
have you had any work in that field, or is it mostly this stuff answering to to getting into these shows and things?
Well, between Cindy working my butt off, but going from that, I got to get up to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and get that painting up there to the mayor and the town people.
Okay.
And I've got another painting that I've been working on all of these. The one for Pancho Villa, which will be sent down to Columbus, New Mexico.
Yeah.
I'll get down there, and it'll be hanging in the museum down there. I've got the Pony Express, which will still be going on. I've got the Alamo, which has never been done in the format that I'm fixing to do it.
Okay.
It's one of the oldest pictures of this thing, and you can barely even see it because it looks like it's burnt.
Okay. So how many, like, just ballparking, how many years would this time period be before, say, Santa Ana and taking the Alamo kind of thing?
This painting in the photo,
the picture of it. What's like circa what do you think?
Man, I think they've got it dated that it's like maybe 4 years.
Okay, before Santa Ana and the Alamo and all that. Okay,
I mean it's still at its pinnacle. It doesn't have the arch on it.
Yeah,
it's just straight because the arch was not put on until afterwards.
Later. Yeah.
And then it's got the two. I call them the Lady of Guadalupe's in there, but that's not what they're calling them. But anyway, there's only one that's in there.
Oh, okay.
On this photo, there's not the two. It's only on one side.
Okay.
That second indention wasn't put in until later.
That's cool. So you're going to recreate a painting of that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And let's see. Other than that, I've got some paintings for Fort Sumner still with the Billy the Kid.
Okay.
I'm busy. Let's just
Sounds
put it that
like
way.
it. I mean, yeah, between trying to get in these competitions and Cindy keeps cranking out books, which all need covers. So,
Next year may look like a lot of road time for me and a lot of air time for me.
Well, good. Nothing
Going
wrong with traveling.
overseas. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with traveling, seeing Europe and rubbing elbows with the...
Well, we're talking Germany on down to Milan.
Okay. You got to brush up on some, maybe get some of those... what is it called? The Rosetta Stone?
I'll bring you back one of those. What did they call them in that movie? The Das Boot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the boots. Yeah, Germany. But absolutely. So Cindy, before we wrap up, what's your next project? What are you working on now?
Well, it's funny that you say that, and I'm not going to put Greg on the spot here, but somebody to whom I've read some of the stories in Imagine and Inspire said to me that at least a couple of them, for instance, the magic elephants, and I have a couple others that would. Oh, my all-time favorite in this book is called. It has to do with Golda Burger and the Three Bagels. So I'm going to let you figure out what I'm alluding to. Goldie Burger and the Three Bagels. One is too short, one is too... Anyway.
I feel like that's starting of a nursery rhyme.
However, my trusted resource said that would make a great children's book.
Okay.
However, and the copy's written. I just don't have an illustrator to volunteer to do some images for a children's book for Goldie Burger and the Three Bagels.
How are you with baked goods, Greg?
If she tells me to do it, I can do it. That ain't no biggie.
In the cartoon genre, Greg?
Yeah.
Do I?
Are you interested in working in the cartoon genre?
He's painted it.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him paint like comic book and cartoon characters and things for commission for people and stuff. So, Greg's
like I told you on Facebook. When we talk, I got your back.
I mean, because obviously, like you and I, most people, we look at Greg and see his art, and we, if you look like a Southwest theme, or I mean, that's kind of your like day job kind of thing, but yeah, you will paint anything and everything from Metallica logos to comic book characters to everything else. So I think he can capture a good children's cover for you too. I think it's in the wheelhouse.
That's one of the projects that I'm contemplating, and this one's also for you, Greg, to park in the back of your brain. But you and I have talked about this. Is that I have done a disservice to the state of New Mexico in which I reside by doing murder mysteries that took place only in Belen and Alamogordo and Roswell. So I have already done plot structures and such for murder mysteries that take place in Gallup, Santa Fe, and Las Vegas.
Very good.
Now I got you.
I'm thinking with Gallup, you can a lot of with native there and that, and so you could have quite an interesting murder mystery with that one there. So
yeah,
it had a whole big footprint.
Yeah, you can indoctrinate,
Gallup.
Incorporate all the native culture and all that into that, and the reservation lifestyle and everything. Absolutely, yeah.
If I can find an illustrator who's interested in doing it for me,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, one of these books might make a fine movie screenplay one day. Just saying,
I said to me, I've had that said to me.
Yeah?
And my great fantasy is that I'm going to get a phone call from Steven Spielberg.
There you go.
That's my fantasy, that he wants to make a movie from one of my Holocaust books.
We just got to keep working it.
There we
That's
go.
all we got to do.
So at the end of the day, we need to get Greg into the Louvre with a painting, not just tour it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
And Spielberg to make a Cindy Sloan book. First, let's have her read the short stories. Then we'll get him into an interview, a conversation interview. Then we'll have him make a movie. So that's
all right. Okay.
Sounds like a good plan to me. So,
but hey, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I was going to tell you if you heard about, Metallica.
Oh yeah.
He got up on stage and he was in New York City doing a concert the other night. I don't know if you heard about it.
I don't think I've heard this story yet. No.
Anyway, there was just a lot of chanting, because of the situation in the world right now in America, and people were just going off left and right on both sides of the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And he just stopped the performance. Didn't say a word. Didn't do nothing. Put down his guitar, went up to the mic, and just started singing God Bless America.
Really? That's cool.
Nice.
Did people join in?
That's nice.
They were all shocked.
Good.
But it didn't make it on national news.
No, I could do some digging, Greg. Is that I usually see like that stuff on Twitter and all that too.
And he done an excellent. It was just a vocal.
Yeah.
And he done an excellent version.
I know he's a rock legend and a rock guitarist, but he can sing. He does have the singing ability.
But I think people was expecting him to either start cussing like most performers would do, like back in the day with Axl Rose.
Yeah.
He would lose his stuff, man. But he just stopped and put down his guitar, and then he just went up to the mic. And
there's a reason why I like those guys. So,
so there you go. There's do what, Cindy?
That's my daughter's favorite group is Metallica.
I've been ever since I was a teenager. I've been a fan. So, and people are like, do you listen to music? I'm like, I listen to Metallica. That's usually my answer. So, but.
For music.
Yeah, if I'm going to be one forever, I guess it could be worse ones I pick, right? So,
well, he sent me a deal, and I can send it to you. But he sent it to me because I guess they was recording it. Nothing was rehearsed on it, and nobody knew that the crowd was going to react the way that they was doing. There was just people that was out there, and people were just angry. And I don't know that I'd want to be a musician right now, the way that things are.
Well.
And do some of these tours.
Unfortunately, how you feel about one thing defines everything about you the rest of your life right now, and that's the way people look at things, and that's unfortunate, but it's the way it is, and we'll get through it like we will everything else. People calm down, hopefully.
I hope.
But please visit Cindy Sloan Butts on Amazon, CindySloan Butts, Butts. The latest book, again, it's a collection of the short stories to imagine and inspire, a short story anthology. And then hopefully we just opened a can of worms for about a bunch of other books for you to from interest to things and check out other Cindy's books. And then, of course, if you're ever in the Albuquerque area and you're going through bookstores around there, you might just catch one of her books on the shelves there, too. So if you don't, and who knows, you catch her there and she might even sign a copy or two for you. So
working on.
Good deal. Now, Greg, if anybody's got... I know not that you want looking for more work, but if someone says I need a Greg Birch done, they can probably reach out to you on Facebook. Probably the quickest, easiest way, huh?
Facebook, Instagram. I've got 2 other accounts, but they're all linked, and they're just on my Facebook page. And
just do a Greg Birch with 2 G's, Roswell, and you probably. It'll be the first one pop up is one of Greg's pages there.
Yeah, and plus I'm planning on doing renting out the Civic Center, and I'm going to take a couple of my paintings and just for the community, just to give back to the city of Roswell and to the local folks here that have supported me because this is my hometown. All you have to do is just roll out of bed, and I'll give the dates and the times. I'll come on. Whenever I choose to do that event, and people will be able to get a free print
Cool.
No cost. All they have to do is just show up, and I'll sign it for them.
Cool.
And they'll get a free print of the 2 paintings that I choose.
Nice. Well, that'd be cool. And of course, like you said, Greg, he commissioned work, but see all of his art, and like I said, the man's gonna be in the Louvre someday, and you gotta get it now. Yeah. Man, those will get very valuable all of a sudden, Greg.
They've gotten that way. They've gotten that way over the last few months.
Retire. Do this quick, and I can retire. I'll just sell one, and then I'll live off that one, and then
just because of the
others.
And there again, it's no pat on the back because I don't have like 16 sponsors. I don't have like
you're
15.
grinding.
I mean, I have to do all this on my own.
Yep, you're grinding. Yep.
And anyway, since I've made it into these 2 different magazines now. The paintings are, if you've got one of my paintings, it's pretty healthy price.
Just real quick, I know something. Sorry. Go ahead, Cindy.
I have 2.
Yeah, you got 3 because you won that other one, but you didn't show up to get it. So now I have to mail it to you.
That's right. Well, I was in Ruidoso as recently as yesterday, and I was feeling pretty lousy, and my husband said, "Let's go home." So we shortened our Ruidoso trip. Otherwise, I would have been sitting in your studio right now.
Well,
I apologize.
Absence will just make the heart grow fonder. We'll have to look for that for next time. We'll see you in studio. So
yes,
I'm always in Ruidoso.
We'll make it happen. We'll both be in the same room. I won't be in Durango or whatever. So.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Cindy.
We'll make it work.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cindy, for joining us here, and we look forward to seeing you here down the road. And again, get on Amazon, Cindy Sloan Butts. Just start reading, start picking, and start reading, and you'll be good.
Greg, you stay healthy because I need you, buddy.
Hey, I've got you.
That's right. Well, he's got trips to Europe planned and everything else, so he's got a busy plate, so he's got to stay healthy.
True that.
Excellent.
All that matters.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Cindy, as always, and we will talk to you again soon, okay?
All right, thanks so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Cindy Sloan Butts, and Greg, thank you very much for joining us here, and we got to see you sooner rather than later here, make it a little more often, and this is great. Let us know and for the next thing, and as we keep going, and folks, please reach out if you need some work and you want something commissioned by Greg. He's I know the holidays are around the corner, and if you're looking for the perfect gift, Greg might be able to help you out. Now, give him some time. He's got a busy dance card, so. Good deal.
But I got it. But when I give the free prints away to the public, you better show up and get yours.
I'll be around. I'm all for free.
All right.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, man.
It is 9:55. Let's pause for news and Hannity update before we get you into more news. Don't go away.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. An active emergency alert was issued Friday at the HF Sinclair Navajo refinery. Artesia police initially responded to reports of an explosion and thick smoke that was emitting from the plant and drifting over parts of the city. A shelter indoors advisory was also issued for the city of Artesia. By 1 p.m, the emergency was lifted after a fire was apparently extinguished. A spokesperson for the refinery did indicate that 3 refinery workers were injured and taken to a hospital for treatment. Their updated conditions are not known. The spokesperson also did not have information about what could have caused the blast and fire. Eddy County announces that Tiana Romero has been selected as the new executive administrative assistant to County Manager Mike Gallagher. The appointment marks an internal promotion for Romero, who has grown within Eddy County over the past 5 years, spending the last 4 years serving in the county manager's administration department. A statement from the county says Romero has built a reputation for her strong work ethic, professionalism, and commitment to serving the county with integrity. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I actually think that after the election on Tuesday, I think Eric Schmidt, who was on the program earlier, is going to be, his prediction's probably accurate. Sometime later next week, this thing opens up. They're waiting for the election. That's what I think. I don't like the idea because, look, you have to assume one day Democrats, I hope they don't, would get back in power. I'd love it for Trump because you get the whole agenda through. And I guess you could argue that if we make things so amazing for the American people, they're never going to want to switch parties. But eventually there's an ebb and flow to political cycles, right? And there's only one Donald Trump. People ask, who's the next Donald Trump? I'm like, there is none.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, if you're with Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, you are overpaying for wireless, period, end of sentence. You're paying for thousands of retail stores that you're never going to go to. You're paying for unnecessary perks that you'll never use. But guess what? My cell phone provider, Pure Talk, they use the same 5G network, the same cell towers. The only difference? They don't charge you for any of the garbage. Instead, Pure Talk will give you unlimited talk, unlimited text, plenty of data, $25 a month. That's real money in your pocket for the exact same service. And guess what? You can keep your phone and your phone number. The switch is simple, fast, easy. Dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. And you can be switched over in mere minutes. Pound 250, keyword save now. Make the switch to my cell phone provider, a veteran-owned company, Pure Talk. Wireless by Americans for Americans.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Kimberly-Clark, the company behind brands including Huggies, Kleenex, and Cottonelle, is branching out. It's buying Tylenol maker Kenvue in a roughly $48.7 billion cash and stock deal, creating a massive consumer health goods company. Kimberly-Clark shares slid more than 15% after it announced the acquisition. Kenvue shares jumped 19% on the news. It's another big week of corporate earnings reports amid an absence of economic data as the government shutdown drags on. Microsoft has entered into a roughly $9.7 billion cloud services contract with artificial intelligence cloud service provider Iron. It will give it access to some NVIDIA chips. Iron shares soared more than 22% before the opening bell. Microsoft shares effectively unchanged. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.